Chapter 1278. The woman's words didn't reveal anything about the evil fiend temple, so the poison pill didn't have any effect on her. Of course, Lin Xian wanted to keep her around. She was useful. Don't even think about leaving. Lin Xian's lips curled. You. She pointed at Lin Xian angrily. Then, the cloth fell off and she quickly covered herself again. Xiao Linglong, if I do anything to her you won't blame me, right? Linglong Shui said indifferently. Up to you. Then will you blame me? No. Linglong Shui shook her head. That's enough. Lin Xian then looked at the woman and smiled coldly. Seeing Lin Xian's smile, the woman's heart skipped a beat. You're still useful. Either you kill yourself now, or you come with me. These are the only two choices. The woman gritted her teeth. Who would be willing to die like this? And she was in the great virtual realm. Seems like you've made your choice. Lin Xian then looked at Linglong Shui. This girl understood Lin Xian very well. Then he threw a set of clothes to her. She hurriedly put them on and stood up. What are you waiting for? Let's go. Then the three of them walked into Linen City. I'm going back, Linglong Shui said to Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded. Then Linglong Shui disappeared. Lin Xian then turned to look at the woman, walked up to her, and pinched her chin. Let's go. Let this young master play with you. The woman. You dare. Do I dare? Ha ha ha. What's your situation now? What's my situation? Do you think I dare? I love to play with pretty girls. I have no resistance to pretty girls. If you were ugly, I probably wouldn't have kept you. You're a good way to vent my anger. Lin Xian's lips curled up slightly. Then he released the law of space and the two of them disappeared. When they reappeared, the two of them appeared in Lin Xian's house. Bing Lingyue had taken care of little Shi at Linglong Shui's place, so there were only the two of them at home. Go take a shower. Lin Xian kicked the woman into the bathroom. The woman. Lin Xian, don't be too presumptuous. The woman pointed at Lin Xian angrily. Oh. I say, don't you know what kind of situation you're in? Come, you don't want to submit, right? Then commit suicide. If you commit suicide, I won't bury you. It's suicide. Lin Xian sneered. Lin Xian had no pity for this woman. As for seeing through her? Then why not? She was so beautiful, and Lin Xian still wanted to keep her. Wouldn't she be of some use if he kept her? Wouldn't it be a pity if such a beauty wasn't exposed? What was the most important thing? Lin Xian wanted to conquer her. Yes, he wanted to turn this woman into his slave. That's right. This wasn't some bad taste. He wouldn't make her wear a maid's uniform and do whatever he wanted. Of course it didn't matter. Instead, it meant that Lin Xian couldn't be friends with her, so he could only control her by force. But before that, what was he going to do? He was going to toy with her, trample on her, and trample on her dignity. This woman was obviously arrogant, so he was going to trample on her dignity and make her a slave in front of him. First, she had to be afraid of him. As a man, wasn't it easy to make a woman afraid? Crack, crack, crack. She clenched her fists tightly. In the next instant, Lin Xian released the law of destruction, and her body shattered instantly. There was no possibility of escape in this bathroom. Furthermore, she had no cultivation at all. She was just an ordinary person who was slightly stronger than an ordinary person. Her cultivation had been sealed by Linglong Shui. Lin Xian had already taken her interspatial ring. Her clothes had been destroyed and she had no ability to run out. Bang! Her clothes were torn and she slammed the door shut. Then she stood there doubting her life. Lin Xian sneered and sat on the sofa. He took out everything from her interspatial ring. The evil fiend temple's token, then a pile of spiritual weapons, martial skills, and spiritual items. There wasn't anything special. There was a cell phone. Lin Xian took it out and took a look. This was a very old cell phone. It wasn't even a smartphone, but it actually had a password. Lin Xian used the law of creation to create a new password. After opening it, there were a few numbers inside. Lin Xian saw Zhao Mingyue's number. God damn it. Lin Xian then pushed open the bathroom door and walked in. The woman quickly got into the bathtub. What are you doing? She stared at Lin Xian angrily. Lin Xian held the cell phone. This is called not having Zhao Mingyue's contact information? The woman frowned. How did he manage to decipher her password? Looks like you're still dishonest. Slap. Lin Xian walked over and slapped her face. In an instant, a red mark appeared on her face. Slap. Lin Xian slapped her again. The woman gritted her teeth and clenched her fists. A prisoner should have the awareness of a prisoner. Lin Xian gave him another backhand slap. Blood flowed out from the corner of her mouth. Her eyes were still angrily staring at Lin Xian. Yo, you're still not convinced? Lin Xian sneered. Then he pressed her head down and flipped her over, leaving her pouting on the bed. Lin Xian. Yo, was this woman's first time? Bing Lingyue didn't come back, because Linglong Shui could guess what Lin Xian was going to do. She simply didn't let her come back and disturb him. The sun rose. Lin Xian opened his eyes and looked at the woman beside him. Last night, he had tormented this woman. He could tell from the tears on her face. One had to know that this was a master in the virtualization stage. If he could make her cry, then how cruel was Lin Xian last night? There were even bruises on her body. Click. Lin Xian lit a cigarette and took a puff. The sound of the cigarette lighting woke the woman up. Yes, she woke up with a start. She suddenly opened her eyes. You're awake. Go and cook. Lin Xian said coldly. Then she closed her eyes again. Yo, you're still not convinced, are you? Lin Xian sneered again and walked towards her. She wore a frightened expression. I'll do it, I'll do it. She clenched her teeth and said unwillingly. If you can't get up in 3 seconds, I'll make sure you can't get up in 3 days. Lin Xian smoked a cigarette and said. Then the woman stood up and walked into the kitchen. In the kitchen, she was holding a bowl. Crack, then she crushed the bowl. Her eyes were slowly filled with hatred and anger. At that moment, Lin Xian walked into the kitchen and saw the scene. Looks like you're still not convinced. Lin Xian said coldly. The woman's delicate body suddenly trembled. The bowl is not of good quality. She quickly explained. Yes, she was a little afraid of this person last night. Perhaps this was the weakness of women. After all, they were women. Chapter 1279. Lin Xian glanced at it and took out the phone. Do you have a way to trick Zhao Mingyue into coming here? Lin Xian asked. He didn't say anything else to this woman. No. Lin Xian didn't frown. This number is right here. Did you tell me? The woman said coldly. That was a number from a long time ago. I have a way to contact every member who enters the Evil Fiend Hall. Of course, it's the members who entered the Gold Palace. Zhao Mingyue used to be a member of the Gold Palace. Lin Xian. And then? I told you that I don't have a way to contact her. This is the number she left when she entered the Evil Fiend Hall. I didn't delete it. Now that she changed it, she used a different way to contact me. Lin Xian. So he made a mistake last night? I don't believe it. Lin Xian dialed a number. The number you have dialed does not exist. Lin Xian. It seemed like he really made a mistake. However, he felt a little guilty, but he didn't feel guilty. It was good enough that he didn't kill her, right? You'd better stay here obediently. Lin Xian said as he released a spatial energy to seal the room. Even if she jumped off the building, she wouldn't be able to escape. Moreover, with the spatial seal, the signal in the room couldn't be transmitted out. After that, Lin Xian walked out. Leng Wuxin looked at the food she cooked. Bastard. After Lin Xian left, she was so furious that she wanted to die. He played her like that, and even asked her to make breakfast? She made breakfast, and then he left without eating? To be honest, she was angry and wronged. She never thought that she would have a day like this. She even thought that she would be killed one day, but who would want to commit suicide? Who would want to end their life for nothing? Being afraid of death and being willing to die were two different concepts. It depended on whether you felt that this world and your life was worth living. Obviously, Leng Wuxin liked this world. She was unwilling to leave. Her strength at the great virtual realm was already enough to make her unwilling to die. Yes, she still had ambition. She had joined the Evil Fiend Shrine, and from a small and ordinary member of the Evil Fiend Shrine, she had climbed to her current position in 10 years. She was not only the boss of the Evil Fiend Shrine in Linen City. Thinking about it, in the past, she was in charge of Tianhua City. And now that Tianhua City was destroyed, how could she still become the boss of Linen City? Linen City's evil fiend temple should only have one boss, because she was also one of the elders of the evil god Fire Hall. That's right, she was the 21st elder. He might not be the strongest among these elders, but he was definitely not the weakest. Her mission was to develop the evil divine hall's power in the border cities, because the border cities were very important. Why? Generally speaking, the three major forces wouldn't invest too much in border cities. They would only send a large number of troops here. As for development, how should he put it? The common people did not dare to develop such a border city, so it gave the evil fiend hall a chance. The evil fiend shrine could invest in development, and at the same time, control a city to a certain extent. It could not be said that they controlled it completely, because they did not have that kind of capital, but they could still become the local tyrant. Of course, in the eyes of others, they were just a certain company that had become the local tyrant. To be honest, if the Yixian group had not entered Linen City, with the Liao family's capital and the support of the evil fiend shrine, they would have been the local tyrant now. However, the Yixian group's entry had forced them to stop their plans. And why did Leng Wuxin join the evil fiend shrine? There was no other reason, but for strength. Ever since she was young, she had lived in an environment where the strong preyed on the weak. Ever since she could remember, she had been in a mysterious organization, an assassin organization. She had even started to assassinate people when she was only 10 years old. After that, the organization fell apart, and she had nowhere to go. Coincidentally, she met people from the evil fiend shrine, and was roped in. To her, although the evil fiend shrine was an evil organization because they would kill people, she was used to it because she had received missions to assassinate people since she was young. However, as she grew up, she would not kill innocent people. She was only responsible for developing the evil fiend shrine. Of course, she would kill anyone who stopped her. She just did not expect to fall to such a state. And where did Lin Xian go? Lin Xian went to Bai Xuanchuan's place. He was going to refine some pills. At this moment, the Azura Palace had also expanded. Bai Xianxian had been so busy that she wanted to vomit. Just now, when she saw Lin Xian, her eyes were filled with hidden bitterness. What's wrong? Lin Xian said with a smile. Nothing, the Azura Palace is on the right track. Do you want to take a look at the list of experts? Lin Xian shook his head. No need, I'm relieved with you here. We'll talk about it when we need them. If we don't need them, let them do whatever they want. I'm here to refine some pills. Where's the cauldron? What herbs do you need? The Azura Palace has a lot of them. Many experts have brought all kinds of spiritual items to exchange. I'll go take a look. Lin Xian then went to the Azura Palace's herb garden. If he didn't go there, he wouldn't have noticed it. When he looked around, he saw all kinds of spiritual herbs. Even without the 9-colored sacred lotus, the spiritual energy here was probably very high. Good place, this place can be developed well. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. I know. When the time comes, put the 9-colored sacred lotus here. With its spiritual energy, it can make these spiritual items grow faster. And when the time comes, I'll let the art pavilion group buy all kinds of living spiritual herbs at a high price. Lin Xian nodded. Then, an old man walked over and placed the cauldron here. Palace Master, the item is here. Sorry to trouble you, old Huang. Bai Xianxian nodded slightly. For the time being, Bai Xianxian was still the Palace Master of the Azura Palace because Lin Xian couldn't control the situation. Bai Xianxian still had some status in the Jianghu, but this old Huang had followed her for a long time. Young Master Lin, if you have any instructions in the future, just look for me. Lin Xian nodded. Sorry to trouble you. Go and cultivate. And Lin Xian then went to collect some herbs. Although the herb garden wasn't big, it seemed to be quite complete. Is there a serene fluorescent flower? Lin Xian asked. Poison flower? You're refining poison? Bai Xianxian asked. And you can say so. There should be. Give me a moment. After a while, Bai Xianxian condensed her spiritual energy and walked over with a black serene fluorescent flower. After that, Lin Xian refined a total of 2 kinds of pills. During this time, He also used the law of creation to do some things. Then I'll go first. Don't tire yourself out. Lin Xian smacked his lips against Bai Xuanxuan's red lips, causing her to roll her eyes. Chapter 1280. Ka. Lin Xian opened the door to his house. Leng Wuxin was sitting on a chair, eating the food she cooked. When she saw Lin Xian, she just glanced at him without saying anything. Gradually, her heart returned to normal. Here. Lin Xian handed her a pill. What's this? She took it and frowned. Then she looked at Lin Xian. The antidote. It can cure the poison of the Azura Palace's members. Lin Xian said. Leng Wuxin. Of course, she had also taken this poison. That's right, even an elder of the Fire Hall of the Evil Divine Hall had to take this poison pill. Not to mention this, even the Hall Master of the Fire Hall of the Evil Divine Hall had to take this poison pill. In fact, this was one of the reasons why she had worked so hard for the Azura Palace all these years. On this continent, there were too many talented people. In the entire continent, all the doctors of the three major powers were unable to create an antidote for a poison pill. How could this person do it? What? You don't believe me? What do you think? Leng Wuxin asked. Just because others can't make the antidote doesn't mean I can't. Am I right? Leng Wuxin was indifferent. I'll give you 3 seconds to take it. Lin Xian's tone turned cold. You. Leng Wuxin gritted her teeth. If I want to kill you or do something to you, with your current condition, can you resist? If this pill is some kind of poison pill, why would I bother? Hearing Lin Xian's words, Leng Wuxin took a deep breath and took the pill helplessly. However, she didn't feel anything special when it entered her stomach. Then, you can try to tell me some of the Azura Palace's secrets. See if this pill can save your life. Lin Xian said. After saying that, Lin Xian took out a spirit weapon and placed it on her neck. You can think about it. If you tell me, you'll only bear the risk of being poisoned to death. If you don't, you'll definitely be killed by me. Crack, 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 she clenched her fists tightly. Then let me ask you, do you know the location of the Azura Palace? She took a deep breath. Forget it. If I die, so be it. Dying from a poison pill was better than being killed by a sword, right? Tiandu. As soon as she finished speaking, she was already prepared for death. She even closed her eyes. However, as the seconds ticked by, she slowly opened her beautiful eyes. Her body didn't feel anything. How is this possible? Tiandu's exact location? Since you know about this matter, I'm afraid your status isn't low. Leng Wuxin looked at Lin Xian. House. Because she was the information. She knew the information was the information palace's was. Because she was still? She looked at Lin Xian in shock. Don't be shocked. I've said it before. Just because others can't make the antidote doesn't mean I can't. Leng Wuxin was really shocked. This Lin Xian. To be honest, if the poison pill could be cured, it would definitely be a huge blow to the Evil Fiend Temple. Many of them regretted their decision after joining the Azura Palace for a period of time. They joined the Azura Palace because of the temptation. They were attracted by strength. Other than killing demonic beasts, they also hoped to kill cultivators to improve their cultivation. However, although the Evil Fiend Temple didn't restrict their freedom, the poison pill made them destined to be part of the Evil Fiend Temple for the rest of their lives. Even if they wanted to leave, they couldn't. Moreover, the entire continent couldn't develop anything that could cure the poison. If someone stood out and said he could cure the poison, how big of a blow would it be to the Evil Fiend Temple? It was unimaginable. Why do you want to cure me? Leng Wuxin asked. Because I don't want someone close to me to be restricted by the Evil Fiend Temple and then kill me. What do you think? You don't plan to let me go? Lin Xian smiled and nodded. That's right. Either you die, or you stay by my side and work obediently for me. You can choose between the two. Leng Wuxin didn't say anything. However, she was shocked and pleasantly surprised. The poison pill was cured. In other words, she was actually free? No. There was still this Lin Xian. Here. Lin Xian handed her another pill. Leng Wuxin took it. This is a poison pill. It has the same effect as the poison pill you ate in the evil fiend temple. After eating it, you'll die if you betray me. Lung Wuxin. I'll give you 3 seconds to eat it. Lin Xian said. Lung Wuxin glanced at the poison pill and swallowed it. The corner of Lin Xian's mouth curled up slightly before he put his sword away. That's a good girl. All right, let's have a good chat. Your name? Lin Xian said. Lung Wuxin. She was at her wit's end. She escaped from the tiger's den and fell into the wolf's den. Your name is okay. Lin Xian rubbed his chin and pointed at the kitchen. Get me a bowl of rice. Lung Wuxin clenched her fists and deflated. She walked into the kitchen and got Lin Xian a bowl of rice. Then, she threw the chopsticks in front of Lin Xian. What's with that attitude? Start over. You. Lung Wuxin gritted her teeth and glared at Lin Xian. It seems you haven't realized it yet, have you? Lin Xian said and was about to unbuckle his belt. Lung Wuxin. She hurriedly picked up the bowl and chopsticks and handed it to Lin Xian. Lin Xian took it and took a bite of the food she made. It tasted good. What's your position in the evil fiend temple? Lin Xian asked. The 21st elder of the evil fiend temple's fire temple. Lin Xian. This person was actually an elder. F***ck. Then she must know more than Wu Yuhan. How powerful is the evil fiend temple's fire temple? Lin Xian asked. Hundreds of saints, thousands of heavenly venerables, and countless domain realm cultivators. Lin Xian. What about the heavenly Tao? There should be, but I'm not sure. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. This was a little tricky. You said the evil fiend temple's fire temple is in the Shao family, one of the 8 great families, right? Lung Wuxin took a bite and nodded. The Shao family members are all members of the evil fiend temple's fire temple. Or, are they cooperating with the evil fiend temple's fire temple? The Shao family is the evil fiend temple's fire temple. Anyone? Lin Xian. To be honest, the evil fiend temple was a little scary. The Shao family, one of the 8 great families, was actually the evil fiend temple's fire temple? Do you have any evidence? Lung Wuxin shook her head. This was indeed a problem. The entire Shao family was the evil fiend temple's fire temple, which meant that the Shao family was actually the most powerful. It was just that they exposed themselves like the other 7 great families on the surface because they were afraid that they would be suspected if they exposed too much. Therefore, they didn't use their full strength when fighting for resources. Chapter 1281. Lin Xian frowned. That meant that Xiao Yun was also a member of the Evil Fiend Temple's fire hall? Is the Evil Fiend Temple working with the Demon God Temple? Lin Xian asked. Yes, but I don't know the details. I'm just a small elder. Lung Wuxin said. Since she had the intention to leave the Evil Fiend Temple, and was now under Lin Xian's control, she could only tell him everything she knew. Although she hated Lin Xian very much, she had to be obedient. But people had to bow their heads under the eaves. What could she do? Then do you know where the Evil Fiend Temple's main hall is? I don't know. Only the Evil Fiend Temple's fire hall master knows where the main hall is. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Then what else do you know? Nothing. Lin Xian. So F***king useless. Lung Wuxin. I'm warning you, if you push me too far, I'll die with you. Lin Xian laughed. I did that to you last night, but you didn't die with me. Then I'd like to see where you got the capital to say such harsh words. Lin Xian sat there calmly and looked at her. She clenched her fist. Do you know the Evil Fiend Temple's fire hall's next plans? No, and you have to let me go. If they can't contact me, they'll be suspicious. Lin Xian shook his head. No, you don't have much value anymore. Your value in the Evil Fiend Temple's fire hall is not very high. It's better for you to stay with me. I'm very satisfied with a great void stage fighter. And the most important thing Lin Xian wanted her to stay was about Zhao Mengyue. Once Zhao Mengyue contacts you, you have to tell me immediately. If you can arrange to meet her at a certain place, it can't be better. If you can do this well, I'll give you back your freedom. Lin Xian said. You said it. She stared at Lin Xian. Of course I will. But before that, Lin Xian rubbed his chin. I will send you to the Azura Palace to work for me. Lin Wuxin. Bai Xian was very tired, and Lin Xian planned to send her over to help Bai Xian. Of course, he would not let her take over some important matters. She would be Bai Xian's assistant. All right. Of course she was happy to. Why? She definitely didn't want to be by Lin Xian's side. Then get my cultivation back. That's impossible. Let's talk about it later. You. What? Is this how you treat your superior? Then it's even more impossible for your cultivation to return. Lin Xian chuckled. Lin Wuxin took a deep breath. I'm done eating. Go wash the dishes. After you're done, come to my room. A day passed just like that. Lin Xian treated Lin Wuxin again, and then sent her to Bai Xian. Of course, Lin Xian told Bai Xian some things about her. What did Bai Xian say? He lusted after this woman's body. She was from the evil fiend hall, but he didn't kill her because she was beautiful. Sooner or later, he would die in her belly. Lin Xian felt that what she said was very reasonable. Sighed scumbag. He was a scumbag. However, there were some reasons why he kept her alive. Not to mention that she was a woman. If she was a man, Lin Xian would also want to keep that man alive. At least, he would kill him after he had lost his value to him. However, if he could use the virtuality stage, he would be very valuable. After sending her over, Lin Xian went to look for Linglong Shui and the others. We should have met before. Bai Xian looked at Lin Wuxin and said, Yes. Lin Wuxin said indifferently, Have you fought before? She nodded. Interesting. However, this Lin Xian is just like that. Try to understand him. I hope that we can become friends and comrades in the future. Bai Xian said. Although she knew her identity, she knew that Lin Xian hoped that she could become a part of his combat strength. Therefore, she was helping Lin Xian win her over. Maybe, but I'll say this. I won't let him go. You can tell him that too. Lin Wuxin said coldly. Good luck. Bai Xian said and then said, Help me organize the information over there. Darlings, I'm coming. Lin Xian opened the door and looked at the beauties in the room. Oh, does your waist hurt, young Master Lin? Earbook sat there with her big belly. She looked at Lin Xian and sneered. Don't be like that. Lin Xian scratched his head awkwardly. Bastard. You'll die on a woman's belly sooner or later. Ling Longyue said with extreme dissatisfaction. Lin Xian shrugged and said, I'm happy to do so. She knows where your sister is, right? Linglong Shui asked. Lin Xian sat down and said, I don't know. However, Zhao Mingyue, the person who took my sister away, was working with her. She has a chance to help me get information about Zhao Mingyue. She might even be able to meet her somewhere. Xiao Linglong, you just have to make a move and I'll kill her. Lin Xian's eyes were vicious. Even if you have a reason not to kill her, you're still lusting after her body. To a scumbag. You think with your lower body. Ling Longyue couldn't help but spit. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. That's true. He had to admit. I don't want to teach you a lesson right now. Behave yourself. Lin Xian glared at the girl. Then, she glared back at him without any fear. Lin Xian then sat down beside Earbook. Soon. Earbook nodded. In a few days. Lin Xian then picked up little Shirshir and said, Little girl, soon you'll have a little brother to bully. Then the little girl waved her little hands happily. Don't tell me you're really going to bully me when the time comes? Lin Xian pinched her little face. Then the little girl took another bite. Your cultivation level has been rising so quickly recently. Linglong Shui was also a little surprised. Damn. I've been working very hard these days, okay? I've even killed a few virtuous stage cultivators. You've forcefully raised your strength by creating laws. Coupled with your powerful domain, it's probably hard to find anyone in this world who's more outstanding than you in terms of fighting beyond their cultivation level. Linglong Shui nodded. Yes, Lin Xian's ability to fight beyond his cultivation level was simply ridiculous. The difference between the virtuous stage and the heavenly venerable stage was like heaven and earth. However, as long as your cultivation level wasn't high, you could directly become a heavenly venerable. This difference would instantly disappear. And now what was Lin Xian thinking about? The Xiao family. This evil god Fire Hall was the Xiao family. However, he needed evidence. Was he going to rely on Leng Wuxin's testimony? That wouldn't do. Chapter 1282. The women obviously saw Lin Xian deep in thought. What are you thinking about? Linglong Shui asked. Lin Xian said, now that I know where the Evil Fiend Hall's headquarters is in China, which is also where the Evil Fiend Hall is, I might not have the means to finish it off. What means do you need? Just use your absolute strength to destroy them. Yi Renbing went straight to the point. Holy sh*t. Is that how you solve a problem? Lin Xian said exasperatedly. Oh. Violence can resolve everything. Isn't that so? Lin Xian stroked his chin. That was indeed the case. But the Evil Fiend Hall. How should he put it? Although they were the enemy of all humanity, firstly, it wasn't Lin Xian's responsibility alone. He didn't need to shoulder it alone. He only needed to do one thing. Let his family know that the Xiao family was the Evil Fiend Hall. All he needed to do was find evidence. The rest was left to the three factions. Secondly, according to Leng Wuxin, the Evil Fiend Hall and Fire Hall might even have heavenly Dao realm existences. They were not to be underestimated. They were in Divine Capital. How many people would die if a fight were to break out in Divine Capital? Lin Xian did not dare act rashly. Even with Linglong Shui's spatial powers, he did not dare. If something were to happen, he would not be able to bear the consequences. You just have to give birth to my baby obediently, Lin Xian said to Yi Renbing. Yi Renbing swept a glance at Lin Xian. You are getting more and more impudent. Lin Xian, it's not like you're a demon god. Lin Xian grinned. Yes. Although I'm no longer a demon god, the 10th demon god hall is still around. Although its strength has been weakened, it's still not weak. A big baby, please calm down. The baby is about to be born and you're still like this. Lin Xian leaned over and planted a kiss on her beautiful cheek, causing Yi Renbing to roll her eyes. What a tsundere woman. She was still tsundere at this time. Look at Xiao Linglong. She had already put down her tsundere and started to walk the path of a good wife and mother. Yi Renbing then wiped the spot where Lin Xian had kissed her. Suddenly, her brows furrowed slightly at this moment. Hey, it's flowing. Ling Longyue's eyes were sharp and saw that Yi Renbing's pants were dripping. The few of them immediately looked over. F***ck. Big sister, I only kissed you once. You don't have to be like this, right? Lin Xian was dumbfounded. Yi Renbing lowered her head to take a look. Are you an idiot? It's obvious that her water broke. Yi Renbing rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Then, she was also stunned. The few of them were stunned. F***ck, F***ck, F***ck. Lin Xian panicked. What should we do? What should we do? Xiao Linglong, what did you do the last time? Lin Xian looked at Linglong Shui. Linglong Shui was also a little panicked. What did I do the last time? She looked at Bing Lingyue. Lin Xian. The last time I think you stayed in the hospital for a few days. It's different this time. What should we do? Lin Xian scratched his head. Let's go. Let's go to the hospital. Oh. Then Lin Xian carried Yi Renbing and placed her on the pushchair. Then Linglong Shui released the power of space, and the few of them disappeared at the same time. In the next moment, they appeared in the hospital. Doctor, my wife is about to give birth. Lin Xian hurriedly shouted. Come quickly. F***ck. There are so many beauties. And they're wearing pajamas? Oh my god. This is too beautiful. When they appeared there, a group of people saw Linglong Shui and the others and were instantly shocked. Brother Jia, look F***ck. A man pointed at Linglong Shui and the rest and said in shock. Lu Jia looked over and his eyes suddenly lit up. He had been very uncomfortable recently. A few days ago, he had asked 4 young ladies to do it together. Then 2 days later, he felt that something was wrong and came to the hospital to check. F***ck. He was sick. Today he came to get medicine again. But when he saw so many beauties, big and small, that he had never seen before in his life, he went crazy. Let's go. One of them looked pregnant, another was carrying a baby, but the other two should still be single, right? Only the pregnant woman's family members can enter the delivery room. The nurse said, "I'm her husband." Lin Xian hurriedly said. Then a group of people envied him. "Then the rest can't come in." The nurse said to Ling Longshui and the rest. Ling Longshui hesitated. She also wanted to accompany Yi Renbing. The delivery room didn't allow her to give birth immediately. She had to wait for a certain time. It might take 2 hours before she could give birth. However, during this period of time, Yi Renbing would be in a lot of pain. Of course, she would need to accompany her. Lin Xian alone might not be enough because this bastard was so anxious that he had lost his mind. Of course, Lin Xian was flustered. He had never encountered such a situation before. He wasn't around during Ling Longshui's incident. Now that he was around, this was the first time in his life. He had no idea what to do. Ling Longshui then said, "I'm also his family member." "You are. I'm also his wife. I should be considered his family member, right?" Ling Longshui said. The nurse. Everyone. Lu Jia, who had just walked over, stopped in his tracks. WDNMD. This person has 2 wives. And these 2 are both so beautiful? It's okay. There's another one. There's another very beautiful one. It's true. The baby looks like him. Do you see? Ling Longshui hugged Shir and said to the nurse. "Okay." At this time, Bing Lingyue also said, "I'm also his wife." The nurse. Everyone. "Miss, please don't mess around." Then Bing Lingyue kissed Lin Xian and said, "Do you believe me now?" The nurse. Lu Jia swallowed a mouthful of saliva and looked at Ling Longyue. "It's okay. It's okay. There's also the youngest one. Although she's the youngest, she's also devilishly beautiful. Then what about her?" The nurse pointed at Ling Longyue. Lin Xian said, "She's my eldest daughter." Everyone. Cough cough, then come in. The nurse was helpless. It seemed that this man must be some kind of big boss. Those few girls were simply too beautiful. For him to be able to get these few girls and get along so well with them. This man must be a big boss. Yi Renbing was lying on the bed with an ugly expression. "Bastard. Who's your daughter?" Ling Longyue bit Lin Xian's arm. Stop messing around," Ling Longshui said. Oh, Ling Longyue pouted. Lin Xian then sat down and looked at Yi Renbing. "What's wrong? It hurts a little." Chapter 1283. Ling Longshui had experienced this before, so she could understand Yi Renbing. "Then, what can I do?" Lin Xian asked nervously. "I don't know." Yi Renbing's expression turned painful. How should she put it? At her realm, what kind of injuries had she not suffered? However, she felt that it was more painful than ever. Wait, is the law of creation useful? Lin Xian suddenly thought of something. It's useless. Yi Renbing is at the heavenly Tao realm. No matter what, a law of creation at the heavenly venerable realm won't be of much use to the heavenly Tao. Ling Longshui said. Then what can I do? I don't want to see her in pain. Yo! Yi Renbing suddenly felt comfortable and looked at Lin Xian. I've seen you go easy on me before, but why don't you want to see me in pain now? Holy sh*t. That's because you weren't satisfied and kept wanting it. How can you blame me? Then did you stop when I told you to? Lin Xian. Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue looked at each other. Why did the two of them talk about this? Tui. Ling Longyue spat. Alright. I was wrong, alright? The baby is more important now. 2 hours later, Yi Renbing was pushed into the delivery room by a nurse. Lin Xian followed her and saw his son being born with his own eyes. To be honest, at that moment he felt that the world was really wonderful. Baby. Lin Xian carried his baby. Yi Renbing lay there weakly. The others had already left. Lin Xian would push her out later. He was very cute and would probably be handsome when he grew up. Lin Xian might not be that handsome, but he was very good looking. With Yi Renbing's genes, he definitely wouldn't be bad. He would probably be another Casanova when the time came. Lin Xian then subconsciously probed for a bit. Why the hell did he subconsciously investigate? This was because he had heard that dragons' babies would be very powerful when they were born. This was the innate gift of dragons. During pregnancy, dragons' babies would absorb their mother's power. This was indeed the case. Earbook's heavenly Tao had even temporarily dropped by 1 star. Then Lin Xian was stunned. Domain realm? This brat was born at the domain realm? Let me have a look. Earbook gritted her teeth. F***CKU. I worked so hard to give birth to this baby, but you're holding it in your arms and looking at it, and I don't even see it. Oh. Lin Xian then smiled and carried the baby to Earbook's side. Earbook looked at her baby. In any case, in Lin Xian's eyes, she revealed absolute tenderness. Sure enough, any woman who became a mother would be different. I say, our baby is already born. You should agree to be my woman now, right? Lin Xian kissed Earbook's pink cheeks. Earbook looked at Lin Xian. That's right, Lin Xian hadn't successfully confessed to Earbook yet. Lin Xian hadn't obtained the dark attribute yet. Let's do it for now. When I find something I like more in the future, I'll kick you to the side. Earbook said. Lin Xian. Of course he knew this woman was being arrogant. Ding, confession successful. Dark attribute has been released. Lin Xian's lips curled up slightly. Earbook's gaze landed on her baby's face. Then she gently kissed it. The more she looked, the more she loved it. I'm amazing, right? Lin Xian asked. What? Earbook was stunned. Why did Lin Xian suddenly say that? Damn. You want to give birth to such a cute baby without me? Earbook then rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. What name should I give him? It was rare for Earbook to ask for Lin Xian's opinion. What do you think? Lin Xian asked. I hope that he can become a great hero in the future. Lin Tian. Earbook looked at Lin Xian. Then I also hope that he can become a love saint in the future. A love saint as amazing as his father. Then let's call him Lin Tianqing? Earbook. F***CK off. She couldn't help but curse. Cough, cough, cough. Lin Xian laughed awkwardly. Then I hope that he can be consistent from beginning to end and not be like a scumbag like you. Lin Xian. Lin Tianyi, what do you think? Lin Xian shrugged. Okay, this name is not bad. However, with a father like him, I'm afraid that the name Lin Tianyi will be consistent from beginning to end, but it won't match the name. Lin Xian smiled at Earbook. Then I'll kill his father. Lin Xian. You're amazing. Lin Xian looked at Lin Tianyi and said, he's really like me. This kid can't even open his eyes. Then it's over. Earbook said. Lin Xian. Scram, scram, scram. Lin Xian rolled his eyes. Little Shir inherited my creation law. Do you think little Tianyi will inherit my destruction law? Lin Xian asked. You also have the destruction law? Earbook looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded. You're really amazing. She couldn't help but mutter. This was definitely from the bottom of her heart. The creation law was terrifying enough, but this person actually had the destruction law. It's possible. Earbook said. Let's go, I'll bring you out. Okay. Earbook then gently hugged Lin Xian in her arms. Lin Xian slowly pushed them out. Then Linglong Shui and the others quickly came over. So cute. Linglong Yu looked at Lin Tianyi, her big eyes sparkling. He'll definitely be handsome when he grows up. Bing Lingyue nodded and said. To be honest, she was quite envious. Linglong Shui and Earbook both had babies. She was really envious. Little Shir, who was in Linglong Shui's arms, looked at little Tianyi. Her beautiful big eyes sparkled, and then she kept reaching out her little hand. What are you doing? Lin Xian pinched little Shir's little face. Little Shir pouted and kept poking Lin Xian, because Lin Xian blocked her view of little Tianyi. This girl. Lin Xian shook his head. Ah. He felt that this girl didn't respect him at all. Sob, sob, sob. Just you wait. When this girl grows up, Lin Xian will let her know what despair is. Let's go home. It shouldn't be a problem, right? Yes, we can go back after some procedures are done. After that, they returned home together. In the following period of time, Lin Xian really didn't do anything. He accompanied them the whole time and played with the other girls. However, most of the time, he still spent here. After a short period of observation, Lin Xian discovered something. This little Tianyi had indeed inherited his destruction law. And little Shir had inherited the creation law. Of course, it was a good thing, but if they caused trouble in the future, it would probably give them a headache. Just like that, another month passed. Chapter 1284. That's right. Lin Xian stayed at home in Lin and city for a month. During this month, little Shir had grown up a little, and little Tianyi had also grown up a little. Lin Xian was very happy. He flirted with the girls all day long and looked after little Shir and little Tianyi. After that, Lin Xian played with Lu Yufan and Xian and the others. Ling Ying and the others also came back from the martial arts academy. For the time being, the martial arts academy didn't have any tasks for them. There was no need for them to stay there. As for the martial god academy, it was no longer necessary to manage them. Every single one of them had grown enough. Everyone knew what they were capable of. Those who needed to improve could continue to improve in the beast domain. All they had to do was protect themselves. The martial arts academy now focused more on the next batch of freshmen. That's right, Lin Xian's batch was about to graduate. What would they do after graduation? There are many capable people out there. You can choose to stay in the martial god academy, join the 3 great factions, and receive even more terrifying training. You can also choose to work alone. In any case, everyone has improved greatly here. Even the weakest was at least 5-star domain realm. There were close to 20,000 5-star domain realm cultivators and above, and there were even quite a few heavenly venerables. Wasn't that terrifying to the demon race? This kind of middle-level power was the most terrifying. It had to be said that the establishment of the martial arts academy was indeed miraculous. Little Shir, don't put your foot in front of little Tianyi's mouth. Little Tianyi, you're still hugging and nibbling. Lin Xian turned around and went to cook for a while. Ling Long Shui, Ling Long Yue, Bing Ling Yue, and Yi Rinbing were finally free. They sat on the ground and got off the aircraft. Occasionally, they would look at the siblings sitting on the sofa. Then Lin Xian turned around and looked. Little Shir stretched her foot in front of little Tianyi's face. Little Tianyi was still biting. Sigh, poor little Tianyi. I say, you 4 ancestors. Lin Xian glanced at the 4 girls. If you have something to say, then say it. Yi Rinbing said indifferently. Lin Xian. Wow. Look at these 2 brats. Nua, little Shir's hand is reaching out again. F***ck. Little Tianyi, you're still hugging and nibbling. Lin Xian rubbed his forehead. He had gotten used to being a stay-at-home dad these days. How should he put it? Anyway, he was very happy. It's okay. These 2 babies are very smart. Yi Rinbing said. Are you sure little Tianyi is being smart when he's hugging little Shir's butt? That's because they have a good relationship, Yi Rinbing said. The intelligence of these 2 babies can't be measured by their age, Bing Lingyue said. Lin Xian shrugged. All right. Do you want some steamed pork? Eat. What about the braised pork ribs? Eat. Okay. I'll do whatever I need to do. Lin Xian laughed and then went to the kitchen. Needless to say, this kind of comfortable life really made him happy. Soon Lin Xian finished preparing a feast. They all gathered around the table. Wow. Braised pork ribs. Ling Longyue swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and then couldn't help but start eating. Little Shir, come here. Lin Xian clapped his hands at little Shir. Emph. Little Shir's cute little nose wrinkled, and then turned her head to the side. She was extremely tsundere. Lin Xian. F***ck. Lin Xian then turned around and hugged her in his arms. Tsundere? Your daddy is hugging you. How are you going to resist? Little Shir could only let Lin Xian hug her. Yi Rinbing hugged little Tianyi. They ate happily. You've already stayed here for a month. Are you really not going to raise your cultivation level? Yi Rinbing ate a mouthful of food, and then looked at Lin Xian and asked. Wow. You don't like me? Lin Xian said, feeling wronged. I don't. It's just that you should raise your cultivation level. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. I'll go. In 2 days, the Tianwu conference will be held. At that time, I will definitely participate. If I win, I'll go to the God's Awakening door. Lin Xian said. God's awakening door. I've heard of it. Yirenbing nodded. Where is that place? Bing Lingyue definitely hadn't heard of it. She then asked in surprise. Yirenbing said, it's a human race's mystic realm. There should be another small world. I haven't been there either. However, didn't the human race say that there are many opportunities there? Since only 10 people can go in every few years, it means that it's not simple. Only the 10 most outstanding people of the 5 empires can enter. They must be nurturing them with the best things. Lin Xian nodded. That's why I want to go. That place does seem too precious. Only 10 people could go in every few years. What was inside? Lin Xian asked Morongfeng previously. What did Morongfeng say? He didn't know either. He had never entered. He was ranked 11th at that time. He didn't hear anyone mention it. He only knew that there were great opportunities inside. Anyone who could come out would be an existence that could reach the heavenly Dao realm in the future. Lin Xian was stunned. Even Morongfeng hadn't entered? This wasn't a resource of the Holy Temple. This was a resource of the continent. Only when a few people came here could it be opened. Therefore, even though it was under the jurisdiction of the Holy Temple, they couldn't let anyone enter. Therefore, he had to go. Although there were many people he was worried about, he still needed to increase his strength. It was said that everyone could stay there for 2 months. The longest was 2 months. After 2 months, as long as you didn't die, you would definitely return. Lin Xian had already finished the Heavenly Martial Assembly in the Empire this month. The top 20 of each empire could participate in the final competition between the 5 empires. The top 10 could enter. In the empire's competition, more than half of the top 20 were taken by the powerful people in the Martial Arts Academy. Although there were still many things to do, Linya, the Xiao family, the Evil Fiend Temple, and Lin Xian were worried about Ling Longshue's departure. Before that, he had to complete what he could do. No. He had to do something. Go. Leave the rest to us. We'll help you keep an eye out for your sister. Lin Xian nodded. Okay. After eating, Lin Xian and Ling Longxue returned to their room. See, this person still likes that woman the most. Yirenbing said helplessly. You just gave birth to the baby a month ago. He can't do anything to you now, right? Bing Lingyue said with a smile. When Lin Xian and Ling Longxue left little Shirshir on the sofa, they knew what they were going to do. Little Shirshir wasn't young anymore. She didn't have to stay in the crib every day. The two of them were finally free. Chapter 1285. Lin Xian and Ling Longxue were lying on the bed. They can finally take care of little Shirshir. Lin Xian grinned, causing Ling Longshue's face to blush slightly. Don't think that Lin Xian and Ling Longxue had done anything over the past month. They really hadn't. She had been craving for this body for so long, but had yet to touch it. Hee, I'm dying of thirst. Lin Xian then kissed her. An hour later, the two hugged each other while panting. Lin Xian felt that he was truly blissful. Looking at the unimaginably beautiful woman in his embrace, Lin Xian sighed secretly. Come on. Lin Xian laughed. Ling Longxue. Let me rest for a while. She said with some hidden bitterness. Hee. Then, the two fell silent for a long while. Lin Xian kept hugging Ling Longxue. Xiao Linglong, don't go to that place. Lin Xian said. Ling Longshue's delicate body paused slightly. Lin Xian then said, I'm already a 6-star Empyrean. Advancing to the heavenly Dao realm is only a matter of time. When the time comes, I'll go with you. Ling Longxue bit her red lips slightly. She had been hesitating on whether she should go to that place or not. To be honest, she couldn't bear to. But she had to go. If you really go and something happens, I'll tell you that I'll go crazy. Lin Xian said as he looked at Ling Longxue. Okay, Ling Longxue nodded slightly. Don't say yes. It's useless. You have to promise me from the bottom of your heart. Okay. Lin Xian. I'm serious. It's dangerous for you to go. You've waited for so many years. Can't you wait a few more years? Now not only can I reach the heavenly Dao realm, I've even obtained a divine body. It's possible for me to become a god. If I really become a god, firstly, there's no need to worry about the danger. Secondly, I'll be at ease. Think about it yourself. Lin Xian said. Ling Longshui then gently nodded. I know what to do. Ling Longshui said. I know you know what you're doing. I'm just worried that you're overthinking things, Lin Xian said softly. I'm your man, so this should be my business. Don't always think that you don't want me to get involved in this mess. If something happens to you, for example, in a few days, do you believe that I, as a heavenly venerable, will rush there? I'll die with you, Lin Xian said. Ling Longshui. All right, I won't go. I'll raise little Shir well. When you grow up, we can slowly discuss it. You're right. I've waited for so many years. There's no need to rush into an unknown place. Ling Longshui said with a nod. That's a good girl. Lin Xian grinned. I might not have much time to raise little Shir because I still need to improve. Therefore, I'll need you to nurture her. Ling Longshui nodded. Lin Xian immediately felt relieved. He didn't dare mention this matter previously because he was afraid that it would make Ling Longshui even more determined to leave. But now, Lin Xian felt that he could say it. Indeed, the effects were good. At the very least, Lin Xian felt that Ling Longshui wouldn't leave. Then shall we continue? Lin Xian grinned. Ling Longshui's face was red as she softly replied with an "Him. Big baby, here I come." The next morning, Lin Xian hugged Ling Longshui and didn't want to move at all. After being lustful for so long, last night was indeed a little crazy. Ling Longshui was extremely indulgent towards Lin Xian now. She would give Lin Xian as many times as he wanted. You're awake? Lin Xian saw Ling Longshui's beautiful eyes looking at him. Then he gently kissed her cheek. What? Why didn't he kiss her? Originally, Lin Xian subconsciously wanted to kiss her, but he hesitated. Because he couldn't possibly touch his own descendant, right? Forget it. Just kissing her cheek would be enough. When the time comes, I might go to the God's Awakening door to improve myself. During these 2 months, I'll need you to take care of more things, including the safety of my sister and the girls around me. Lin Xian said to Ling Longshui. Machem. Don't worry. When the time comes, you must be careful too. Lin Xian nodded. About Linya, how should he put it? Zhao Mingyue could contact Leng Wuxin, but she couldn't. It had been a month, and Zhao Mingyue hadn't contacted her even once. Lin Xian didn't know if Zhao Mingyue hadn't contacted her, or if she had already contacted her, but she didn't tell Lin Xian. Lin Xian wasn't sure. In any case, this woman's loyalty wasn't trustworthy. That was why she hadn't returned her cultivation. However, during this period of time, she had indeed helped Bai Xian a lot. This was what Bai Xian had told Lin Xian. At least, from what Bai Xian could see, there was nothing wrong with her. Let's go and have breakfast. Lin Xian smiled and pinched Ling Longshui. Ling Longshui then rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Anyway, this body of hers already belonged to Lin Xian completely, and she was already used to it. The two walked out. Little Shir and little Tianny were already awake. They sat on the sofa and leaned against each other. Who knew what they were playing with their hands together? Who knew what they were thinking? Earbook looked at this scene with a beautiful expression. Although she was unhappy that she gave birth to a baby for Lin Xian, she felt that nothing was important when the baby was born. Perhaps this was the love of a mother. For example, Ling Longshui. If it wasn't for little Shir, she wouldn't be so conflicted. She would have already gone to the God's Awakening door. Therefore, sometimes Lin Xian, who thought with his lower body, was still useful. Bing Lingyue was in the kitchen making breakfast. She had stayed here last night. It was very simple. She slept in the same room as Ling Longyue. However, it didn't matter. She couldn't let Earbook sleep with little Shir and little Tianny, right? Ling Longyue ran over to little Shir and little Tianny to play with them. Yo, the two of you came out. You made quite a commotion last night. Earbook joked. Tisk, if it was you, you would make a bigger commotion. Lin Xian said. Then let's do it together next time. When the time comes, let's see who made the biggest commotion and call Lingyue along. Earbook said with a smile. Cough, cough, cough. Lin Xian coughed and said, I actually don't mind. Ling Longshui. I don't mind either. Lingyue shouldn't mind either. As for Ling Longshui. Earbook looked at Ling Longshui with a smile. Ling Longshui ignored her and sat beside little Shir. Little Shir kept asking for a hug. And seems like she's fine too. Little you, what about you? Ah. Ling Longyue was stunned. Chapter 1286. Earbook was indeed Earbook. She even dragged Ling Longyue into this. Ling Longyue was stunned. As her sister, Ling Longshui was also stunned. Earbook knew very well that Ling Longyue was so pretty. Although she looked young, she would not lose out to her sister when she grew up. The only difference was their temperament. One was noble while the other was a little mischievous. However, she was really pretty. Based on Earbook's understanding of Lin Xian, Ling Longyue was obviously his target. Sisters. TSK. Earbook felt excited just thinking about it. What more Lin Xian? It wasn't that Ling Longshui hadn't thought about it. She felt that with her sister's looks and Lin Xian's hooligan personality, he would definitely have taken a liking to her. He might even have done something to her. It was just that she didn't know. How should she put it? The human race might have a grudge against this. However, the demon race would not have such a grudge. If you were powerful, you could even do all 5 sisters together. Anyway, Ling Longshui was already prepared. Cough, cough, cough. Lin Xian's face turned slightly red. What are you talking about? Ling Longyue's face also turned red. Only an idiot would do that with him. She hurriedly said, Ling Longshui. Earbook. Bing Lingyue. Ling Longyue then realized that she had said something wrong. She quickly said, I wasn't talking about you guys. Then it seems that someone hasn't succeeded yet. Good luck. Earbook looked at Lin Xian with a smile. Shoo. Don't talk nonsense. Don't ruin my little Shir and little Tian. Lin Xian said. I can't be worse than you. Really? Lin Xian. Cough, cough, cough. Then I'll go first. I have to see if there's any progress with Evil Fiend Hall. If I don't get rid of Evil Fiend Hall, I won't be at ease. Lin Xian quickly slipped away after he finished speaking. He's guilty. Earbook hugged little Tianyi and teased him. Then they all looked at Ling Longyue. Why are you looking at me? Ling Longyue blushed. Let's see when you'll be taken down by that hooligan and you sisters. TSK. Earbook teased. Impossible. Ling Longyue quickly retorted. Actually, these 3 girls, including Ling Longyue, probably knew what was going on. On the other side, Lin Xian found an Xian and the rest. Beauty Chiyue? Why are you here? Here? Lin Xian was also surprised to see Zi Chiyue here. Zi Chiyue twirled her hair and said to Lin Xian with a smile, I left the entertainment industry and didn't know what to do. Thinking of all my cute friends here, I decided to come over. By the way, a few of my friends took me to grind monsters and level up. Your family shouldn't be weak, right? You don't need them to bring you around. Lin Xian smiled and sat beside Miao Xiao Miao. Zhao Yunqi's big eyes sparkled as she looked at Lin Xian. Actually, she wanted to tell Lin Xian a piece of good news. She had successfully reached Mysterious Heaven Realm. Actually, it wasn't fast. But how should she put it? It wasn't slow. This was the first time she felt how enchanting power was. Lin Xian knew this because he could see it with his eye of cave spirit. I have friends. An Xian Yunqi, Miao Xiao Miao, Fan Yi, and the others. Everyone is happy together. Zi Chiyue said with a smile. Okay. But we will be going to the Martial Arts Academy soon. We might not be able to accompany Sister Chiyue. Lu Yufan said. It's okay. You guys work hard. I can't fall behind. Otherwise I'll be old. It couldn't be helped. This was a very realistic thing. If one didn't cultivate and raise their realm, their lifespan would be 100 years. Zi Chiyue was already 27 years old. She left the entertainment circle because of this. She wasn't young anymore. If she didn't raise her realm, she would have wrinkles and wouldn't look good. She had to raise her realm. As for making music, how should she put it? If she was free, she could do it as a hobby. Just like an Xian had already left the entertainment industry. She left after winning 10 Golden Melody Awards, and then Zichiyue left. This really caused a sensation in the entertainment industry. But there was no other way. Everyone had the right to choose their own life. An Exian liked music, but she also had to work hard to raise her realm. She had so many good friends here. She also liked this kind of life. That's true. Otherwise, no one will want you. Lin Xian nodded and said. Ha ha ha. Zichiyue laughed. Then she looked at Lin Xian and asked, Do you want me? Yes, I want you now. Then what do you want me to do? The girls looked back and forth between them. Ah, bastard. Lu Yufan and Miao Xiaomiao were going crazy. They were Lin Xian's confirmed girlfriends. Seeing Lin Xian flirt with girls in front of them made them very unhappy. But there was nothing they could do. Actually, they weren't stupid. They knew what they should know and what they should guess. But they really couldn't let it go. They were all very good girls, and they had truly fallen in love with Lin Xian a long time ago. In this world of martial arts, they would rather suffer a little. Who asked them to fall in love with a scumbag? Miao Xiaomiao was fine. But what made Lu Yufan very unhappy was that she was already 18 years old. She was really 18 years old. She was also completely an adult. She had only kissed Lin Xian twice. There was nothing else. Ah. So uncomfortable. Really, it wasn't that Lin Xian didn't want to take her. Lu Yufan, Yi, and Miao Xiaomiao were all becoming more and more beautiful. Of course Lin Xian liked them. But, let alone Lu Yufan, even Yi, who wasn't in a relationship with Lin Xian felt that if he wanted to do it with her she would agree. But how should he put it? Lin Xian couldn't do it. What? This scumbag couldn't do it? Bullsh *T? It was true. Although they knew each other the earliest. That's right, the first two girls Lin Xian knew were Lu Yufan and Yi. On the other hand, it was the first girl he met who took the least advantage. Lu Yufan kissed him twice. Yi, he didn't even kiss him. Then what about them? Sometimes they wouldn't even see Lin Xian for a long time. Instead they would always be there diligently. They would always think of Lin Xian, always thinking of Lin Xian. They would always think of ways to get along well with the girls around Lin Xian. To be honest, Lin Xian felt very guilty. Chapter 1287. Hey, what are you thinking about? Lu Yufan glanced at Lin Xian. Lin Xian shook his head. Nothing. I guess you're thinking about how to take advantage of Sister Chiyue. Miao Xiaomiao mumbled. Lin Xian. Wow. He felt wronged. In the eyes of these girls, he was actually such a person. Ahem, I just came to play with you. If you don't welcome me, then I'll leave. Lin Xian sighed, looking very sad. Sigh. Zhao Yunqi and the soft-hearted Yi immediately fell for his trick and subconsciously tried to persuade him to stay. Lin Xian's lips curled up slightly. Yi and Yunqi are the most sensible. Lin Xian then shamelessly sat down beside them and held Zhao Yunqi's small hand with his big hand, causing her to blush. Are you in the mystic heaven realm? Lin Xian asked Zhao Yunqi with a smile. Ah. How did you know? Zhao Yunqi asked softly. I guessed. She nodded. Yes, you're in the mystic heaven realm. Lin Xian nodded. That's great. Zhao Yunqi's face turned even redder when she heard Lin Xian's praise. She wanted Lin Xian's praise, so she felt especially happy. Work hard and try to go to the martial arts academy next year. Lin Xian said. Yes. Lin Xian then looked at an Exian. This girl was also in the mystic heaven realm. After all, it had been a long time. Moreover, they hung out together every day and had a very good relationship. They also went to the beast domain all day long. You're in the mystic heaven realm too. Yes. An Exian nodded. Not bad. Of course. An Exian said proudly. Lin Xian then looked at Miao Xiaomiao and asked, Will you be participating in the martial arts academy this time? Miao Xiaomiao still shook her head. I didn't participate last time, and I won't participate this time either. I'll just follow Yunqi and play with Sister Chiyue. We'll go to the demonic beast domain together. Then, spend more time with Grandpa. Lin Xian nodded. Sure. Miao Xiaomiao's talent was very high, and her personal strength was also very strong. Although she was currently in the domain realm, and seemed to have fallen behind a lot because Ling Ying and the others were already celestial venerables. She really wasn't in a hurry. To be honest, if she really cultivated properly at the same age, her cultivation would definitely be higher than Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, and the others. Lin Xian, when are you going to participate in the Sky Martial Assembly? Yi Yi asked. Next week. Can we go and watch? She asked. Lin Xian shook his head. I don't know. We'll have to wait for the details. They haven't even told us where to fight yet. Good luck. You must beat the *T out of those people. Lu Yufan waved her fist. Oh, you're not dissing me this time? Lin Xian asked with a smile. TSK, after all, they're outsiders. Even if I don't like you, I can't speak up for strangers, right? Lu Yufan rolled her eyes. You and Yi should work hard. You'll improve a lot if you enter the martial arts academy. I know. Oh, then I'll go first. After Lin Xian finished speaking, the girls looked at him anxiously. Was he leaving just like that? Lin Xian paused. How about we go out and have some fun? Okay. Lin Xian still couldn't find a chance to confess. He didn't want to wait any longer. Yi Yi didn't trigger the mission, but Lin Xian didn't want the mission. An Xian and Zhao Yunqi were girls he could win over, but Lin Xian didn't have a chance. They were all together, but it wasn't a big deal. He could talk about it later. After all, he had a lot of Adonis points. After a day of fun, it was already nighttime when Lin Xian left. He went straight to Bai Xuanxuan's place. At this moment, Bai Xianxian was chatting with Leng Wuxin. What's it like in the evil shrine? Bai Xianxian poured her a cup of coffee. Leng Wuxin hesitated for a moment and said, It's nothing. The evil shrine is the same as usual, but the people are different. In the past month, she had gradually gotten used to this kind of life. Although there were only Bai Xianxian and the experts of the Azura Palace in her life, her heart gradually calmed down. She was busy every day, and then she would go shopping with Bai Xianxian and chat. She did everything. How should she put it? At least for now, the two of them had become good friends who could talk about anything. By the way, are you Lin Xian's woman? Leng Wuxin took a sip of coffee and asked calmly. Yes, I am. Bai Xianxian nodded. You're so outstanding and beautiful, and you have the time attribute. Your cultivation is also high. Why did you choose such a man? Leng Wuxin asked. What about him? Bai Xianxian asked. Shameless, despicable. And then, Leng Wuxin thought for a moment and frowned. Then she couldn't say anything. He's not bad looking, and he's a good person. He's talented, and he's quite responsible. Other than being a playboy, I don't think there's anything special about him. Bai Xianxian said. What I mean is, with your talent, you can find someone better. Leng Wuxin said. Bai Xianxian smiled and said. Later on, I slowly realized that there's nothing better in this world. There's only satisfaction. I'm very satisfied with him. Therefore, in my eyes, he's the best. Isn't that right? Leng Wuxin pondered for a moment and said, That makes sense. What about you? Bai Xianxian asked. Although they had known each other for more than a month, they didn't talk about such things. Today, they happened to be talking about this topic. Me. I'll kill him. Leng Wuxin said coldly. I see that you've been living quite freely for the past month. Other than being restricted, what do you think? Bai Xianxian asked with a smile. Leng Wuxin was stunned. How was her life for the past month? Actually, she had never thought about this question. However, after Bai Xianxian said it, she was completely stunned. This was the first time she thought about this question. Her life for the past month. Although her freedom was restricted, she seemed to be quite happy for the past month. As long as she didn't think about Lin Xian, she would go shopping, eat, and play with Bai Xianxian every day. Indeed, she seemed to be quite happy during this period. She was happier than any other day before. Previously, every day was very tiring for her. She had been an assassin since she was young. She couldn't walk out of that kind of life. At that time, she even thought that if she had parents, if she lived in an ordinary family and lived an ordinary life, how much would she live? However, her life had changed in this 1 month. Her life had become what she had imagined it to be. And all of this was because of that Lin Xian. Chapter 1288. In fact, Bai Xianxian had been helping Lin Xian these days. She roughly knew what kind of situation Leng Wuxin and Lin Xian were in, and she wasn't unforgivable. She felt pretty good after interacting with them for a month. Therefore, if such a powerful Great Void Stage cultivator could become one of them, it would be really good news. That's right, Bai Xianxian had completely become Lin Xian's virtuous wife. Leng Wuxin didn't say anything because she was a bit confused. To be honest, if it wasn't for the poison pill, she would have left the evil fiend palace a long time ago. However, she had no choice. Because of the poison pill, she would die if she left. However, Lin Xian solved the problem for her even though she had taken Lin Xian's poison pill again. She hadn't contacted the evil fiend palace for a month. She guessed that the evil fiend palace had detonated the poison pill, and thought that she was dead. After all, she was one of the elders of the evil fiend palace. The evil fiend palace would definitely pay attention to her if she hadn't contacted them for a month. At this moment, Lin Xian pushed the door open and walked in. Good evening. Lin Xian smiled at Bai Xianxian, and then looked at Leng Wuxin. What are you doing here? Leng Wuxin asked coldly when she saw Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Damn it. This is my territory. Why do you care if I come or not? Lin Xian said. Leng Wuxin was speechless. Damn it. You're still disobedient, aren't you? Lin Xian glared at her. Hey, she helped me a lot this month. Bai Xianxian said. She can order the boss around just because she helped him? Leng Wuxin took a deep breath and then turned her head to the side, drinking her coffee in silence. How's the Azura Palace? Bai Xianxian nodded. It's almost there. It's basically stabilized. If you need a large number of experts in the future, we can provide them. With the huge wealth of the Art Pavilion Group, it won't be a problem for our development. Lin Xian nodded. Thank you for your hard work. I'm fine. Leng Wuxin has been working hard recently. Lin Xian glanced at Leng Wuxin. Are you tired? No, Leng Wuxin said coldly. Well, since she said she's not tired, I'll give her more work in the future. Don't tire yourself out. Lin Xian said as he caressed Bai Xuanxuan's face. Leng Wuxin? F*CKU. Bai Xianxian's face turned slightly red. She was obviously older than this hooligan, but why did she feel like a little girl in front of him? It was actually very simple. Because he liked her. Be obedient. When you're truly obedient, I'll give you your freedom, Lin Xian said. How can I be considered honest? I haven't done anything for the past month. I've been very obedient, so can you give me my freedom? Have you become obedient? Lin Xian rubbed his chin and looked at her. But I don't feel anything. You've been treating me like this since I came in. If I give you your freedom now, you'll kill me the moment I give you your freedom, Lin Xian said. Leng Wuxin didn't say anything. In this situation, it was useless for her to say anything. Let her go? How could Lin Xian let her go? Then Lin Xian sat on the chair. Bai Xianxian wanted to pour tea for Lin Xian. Hey, don't pour it. You pour it. Lin Xian pointed at Leng Wuxin and said. Leng Wuxin. She gritted her teeth and took a deep breath. Then she poured a cup of tea for Lin Xian. Help me massage my shoulders. Lin Xian stretched his neck and said. Leng Wuxin then walked behind Lin Xian and helped him massage his shoulders. Bai Xianxian looked at this scene helplessly. Come here, come here. Lin Xian smiled and waved at Bai Xianxian. What? She asked curiously. Then Lin Xian pulled her into his arms and let her sit on his lap. Bai Xianxian. She quickly got up and glared at Lin Xian. It's getting late. Why are you here? I have an appointment with Leng Wuxin to go to a bar later. Lin Xian. What's the point of going to a bar? Damn. Don't tell me you're going there to hook up with rich guys? Lin Xian glared at Bai Xianxian. Yeah, you're not giving it to me? Bai Xianxian laughed. Leng Wuxin helplessly massaged Lin Xian's shoulders. So annoying. She really wanted to strangle him to death. Let's go. Let's go together. Forget it. You don't have to go. I won't take up your time. You're a busy man. Why are you here? Lin Xian turned around and glanced at Leng Wuxin. I've been thinking of finding a way to destroy the evil god Fire Hall. Do you have any suggestions? Leng Wuxin said coldly, no. By Xian. Don't take her out to eat or shop in the future. Just let her stay here, and don't let her out. Leng Wuxin. Don't go too far. Too far? Is that too far? If it's too far, I'll lock you up in the water prison. Do you think that's too far? I'll even give you a phone to play with and watch TV. That's not bad. Leng Wuxin took a deep breath and said, I really don't have any ideas. That's the evil god Fire Hall. How could I possibly do anything about it? Lin Xian rubbed his chin. Obviously, she yearned for freedom. Perhaps being trapped here wasn't freedom to her, but being able to go out and play with Bai Xian was freedom as well. It was just that she could only stay in Lin and City and follow Bai Xian. Then let me change my question. Since you're an elder of the evil god Fire Hall, then I need to know what I should do to find proof that the Xiao clan is the evil god Fire Hall? Lin Xian asked. Bai Xian said, don't the evil god Fire Hall have the evil god token? Can't you just find it? Of course. I don't know. I'm asking how to find it. How would I know where they keep their tokens? Lin Xian. Big sister, are you really stupid or are you pretending to be stupid? Lin Xian rubbed his forehead. Lin Xian asked, besides the evil god token, how can I find evidence that they're members of the evil god Fire Hall? The evil god token was difficult to find. Even if it was found, it could only convict one person. I don't know the specifics. You should know how secretive the evil god Fire Hall is, not to mention the evil god Fire Hall. I don't know how to make them give themselves away. Didn't you capture the Liao clan group? What did you do? Can't you just use the same method again? Lin Xian. What do I need you for? Then let me go. Fuck. Lin Xian didn't believe it. Lin Xian didn't believe that this woman didn't know anything. She was an elder, not an ordinary member. Let's go. Warm my bed. Lin Xian had to make her submit. Chapter 1289. Leng Wuxin was in despair. Bastard. 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 She had never been humiliated like this. She had to warm his bed just because he asked her to? Bai Xian was helpless. She couldn't control Lin Xian. He could do whatever he wanted. What could she do? Leng Wuxin wasn't a kind person. Although they had been getting along well for the past month, she knew her identity. Therefore, she couldn't control what Lin Xian did. If it was any other girl, she might have helped to speak up for her. Let's go. Lin Xian glared at Leng Wuxin. Leng Wuxin didn't move. You didn't even tell me or touch it. Why should I keep you? Lin Xian said. Leng Wuxin. The members of the Evil God Fire Palace have a secret code that only the members of the Evil God Fire Palace know. Leng Wuxin said helplessly. Oh. Leng Wuxin then said. Only the members of the Evil God Fire Palace know this secret code. If they can tell you the secret code, then they are members of the Evil God Fire Palace, and can enter the Evil God Fire Palace, which is the Xiao family. This secret code is usually only used by the elders and the people brought by the elders. In other words, the people who are trusted by the Evil God Fire Palace will know this secret code. Therefore, there will be some people who they don't know but know the secret code. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows slightly. So, if I have this secret code, although they don't know me, I can go to the Xiao family and tell them this secret code to enter the Xiao family? Leng Wuxin nodded. Yes, the Xiao family is very big. Moreover, the Xiao family has a very large underground space. On the surface, the Xiao family is the Xiao family. Of course, they are also members of the Evil God Fire Palace. The other members of the Evil God Fire Palace can go through the guards of the Xiao family and tell them the secret code. Then they can go underground. The real Evil God Fire Palace is underground. They usually work and cultivate underground. Lin Xian nodded. So that's how it is. It seems that this project is not small. The Evil God Fire Palace has existed for so long. It's normal for it to have such a big project. What's the secret code? Heaven and earth, unify the 8 desolates. Lin Xian. What a bunch of idiots. You people from the Evil Fiend Hall are all idiots. Lin Xian said helplessly. Leng Wuxin then said, what do you want to do? You can pretend to be a member of the Evil Fiend Hall, say the secret code, and then enter the Xiao family. Entering the underground Evil Fiend Hall is better than anything else, but you don't have the identity token of the Evil Fiend Hall. Once there is a place that requires the identity token, you will be in danger. Give me your token. Lin Xian stretched out his hand. It's useless. I have an elder's token. Others can tell that it's an elder's token at a glance. How could an elder not recognize someone? Lin Xian. If it was an elder of the Evil Divine Hall asking me, then I wouldn't be able to do anything. But with this elder token, I should be able to scare those ordinary core members of the Evil Divine Fire Hall, right? Leng Wuxin then threw the token to Lin Xian. It's finally useful. Lin Xian said. Leng Wuxin. Hey, then you said that there is a large space under the Xiao family, where the people of the Evil God Fire Palace live and work. Then, if I directly lead the troops to rush over and find that underground space, wouldn't I be caught red-handed? Leng Wuxin then asked. First, the Xiao family can say that this underground space was specially built by them. It's reasonable for them to build a secret hideout in their own home. Second, there is a teleportation array in the underground space. If there is any problem, those people can immediately enter the teleportation array and leave even if they have the identity token. At the same time, they can destroy the teleportation array. In this way, if you lead the army in, you won't be able to catch them or find any evidence. Instead, you will be alerting the enemy. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. I knew it. How could the Evil Divine Fire Hall be so stupid? But if I destroy the teleportation array, then you will be exposed. Leng Wuxin said. I have to think about this carefully. Let's go warm the bed. Leng Wuxin. Why do I have to warm the bed? Damn. What does it have to do with whether you tell me or not? Didn't you say that you don't have to warm the bed if I tell you? Leng Wuxin gritted her teeth. I never said that. I only wanted you to tell me, but I never said that you don't have to warm the bed if you tell me, right? Leng Wuxin. Bai Xianxian shook her head secretly. It seemed that she had too little contact with this Lin Xian. Little Xianxian, I'll dote on you next time. Lin Xian smiled at Bai Xianxian. Up to you. Bai Xianxian said helplessly. Then Lin Xian reached out and grabbed Leng Wuxin's hand, dragging her away. As for what happened next, there was no need to talk about it. The next morning, Lin Xian opened his eyes and looked at Leng Wuxin, who was sleeping soundly with her back facing him. Hey. Lin Xian smiled. It felt so good to use force. No wonder so many men liked it. Then Lin Xian hugged her from behind. He had to admit that she was really good. However, the reason why Lin Xian was a little afraid of this woman was very simple. The system didn't trigger any missions for her, and she was a member of the Evil Fiend Temple. Lin Xian wasn't sure what her character was like. Therefore, it was best to be careful. Leng Wuxin opened her eyes when Lin Xian hugged her. Then she frowned. Scram, she said coldly. Damn. You told me to scram? Say that again. Lin Xian said from behind. Leng Wuxin. Say it again. All right, she didn't dare to do it again. Naughty. I'll do it again. Leng Wuxin. It was another big battle. Leng Wuxin huddled there, panting, while Lin Xian lit up a cigarette happily. Wouldn't it have been better if you had been more obedient earlier? Why did you have to suffer a little before being obedient? Seriously, you're not smart at all. Lin Xian blew a smoke ring and said indifferently. I'll definitely kill you. Leng Wuxin said coldly. Lin Xian. No, this woman still wanted to kill him. What should he do? Nonsense. Of course she wanted to kill him. Didn't she know what Lin Xian had done to her? You're being naughty again. You can think about it in your heart, but if you say it out loud, how much do you look down on me? Lin Xian flicked the cigarette away and put it on her again. Leng Wuxin. This time, she had a slightly frightened expression on her face. Are you blaming me? Lin Xian walked out of the room. Leng Wuxin was lying there, not wanting to move at all. Feeling better? Bai Xianxian sat in the courtyard and drank tea. Then she looked at Lin Xian and asked. It's okay. She wasn't very obedient. Chapter 1290. Bai Xianxian secretly shook her head. How should she put it? This Lin Xian was good in other aspects, but he was too lecherous. Are you not afraid that she will find an opportunity to kill you? Lin Xian sat in front of Bai Xianxian and took the tea she pushed over. I am afraid. Then why did you humiliate her like this? Lin Xian shrugged and said, It's fine. Anyway, you are here to watch. Her cultivation is sealed. With her ability, if Xiao Linglong breaks the seal, she won't be able to break it for the rest of her life. Now she is just an ordinary person. Moreover, I feel that she is enjoying it. Bai Xianxian. What a scumbag. Lin Xian. Okay, I admit it. At this moment Lin Xian's phone rang. He took it out and took a look. The location of the Tianwu conference has been decided. Lin Xian said. Where? The peak of the North Pole. Bai Xianxian. Where is it? Lin Xian shrugged. How would I know? Isn't that place filled with glaciers and snow mountains? Bai Xianxian nodded. Yes, but there should be a reason. Could it be the entrance to the God's awakening door? Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. That is possible, but there is no need for that, right? Who knows? Anyway, it is the same. Moreover, don't forget that the Tianwu conference might not be just a martial arts competition. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. Yes. The Sky Martial Arts Conference is not just a competition of martial arts. The rules of the Sky Martial Arts Conference in Tianhua City have changed. Although the Empire-level Sky Martial Arts Conference was only a competition of martial arts, this Continental Sky Martial Arts Conference should be more than that. Since they have chosen such a strange place, there must be a reason for it. Lin Xian nodded. Good luck. It is said that if you can enter the God's awakening door, as long as you obtain some opportunities, your strength will increase greatly. Lin Xian nodded. And I know. I will leave this place to you for now. And Lin Xian then left. The summit of the North Pole was the highest point of the Arctic snowfield. It was very cold there. Of course, to martial artists, that kind of cold was nothing. This time they only gave him a location. 6 days later, the Sky Martial Assembly would be held. The peak of the North Pole was especially far away. In other words, they should have set off from various places on the continent in the next 2 days. As for how you will go and how many people will go, that is unknown. Since he didn't say anything, it must be up to you. You can go wherever you want. Just be careful. Something's not right. Lin Xian rubbed his chin. The journey to the summit of the North Pole is long. Even if you take a plane, you can only land in the nearest city. After landing, there are still hundreds of kilometers to the summit of the North Pole. Moreover, more than half of these hundreds of kilometers cannot be driven. The road is full of demonic beasts. Lin Xian rubbed his chin and muttered to himself. It was indeed very dangerous. Such a place might even have heavenly Dao realm demonic beasts. Although the possibility was not high, it was a place with few people. Think about it. A place with negative temperatures of tens of degrees Celsius and constant snowstorms was not suitable for human habitation. How many people would go there? At most, martial artists in the nearby cities would go there to grind their levels. However, they did not dare go too far. Those with low cultivation realms did not dare go out. Once the snowstorm erupted, they would lose their way and encounter demonic beasts. Those with slightly lower cultivation realms were doomed. We have to go by ourselves without being brought along. The journey is dangerous. Is this also a test? Lin Xian pondered slightly. Perhaps, but not necessarily. After all, there might be a similar segment later on. Lin Xian pondered slightly. Then on his cell phone, Ling Ying and company began chatting in the group. Hey, let's set off together. Lin Xian replied. Where are you? Ling Ying asked in the group. I'm in Linan City. Nonsense. Of course I know. Which sister's house are you at? Lin Xian rubbed the tip of his nose. I'm at home. Oh, I'm at your house too. Lin Xian. There's also Chu Xue, Xingyue morong yu wu yu hanan, Lin Xian. What I mean is that I'm almost home. Oh, Lin Xian. Wah, it's so hard to be a man. So Lin Xian hurriedly did a spatial jump and arrived at his door. Following that, he opened the door. A bunch of beautiful girls were gathered in his house. They had all advanced. Every empire had 50 people advance. 5 empires meant 250 people. The numbers were pretty good. With their abilities, it was extremely normal for them to successfully advance to the next level. Lingying Han Chuxue, Xiao Xinyue, Wu Yuhan Morongyu, and Wang Xintong had all advanced easily. They were all heavenly venerables. Those who could advance were all heavenly venerables. How could those who couldn't advance? As for the others, Xiao Yun, Su Jiming, Qin Ming, and the others, of course, could also advance. Unfortunately, Lan Xingxing was just a little short. It couldn't be helped. Although this girl was powerful, she was too delicious. Furthermore, she didn't spend much effort on cultivation. There weren't any heavenly venerables yet. It was normal for her to be eliminated. However, Lan Xingxing had also come to Lin Xian's house today. She was here to freeload. Xiao Runing had also come. As a teacher, there weren't many things going on in the martial arts academy recently. She had also taken a small break. Anyway, it was a bunch of beautiful girls. Only Lin Xian could enjoy the scene. Bing Lingyue was here to entertain them. Isn't someone at home? Lingying sneered when he saw Lin Xian. Ahem, I said the wrong thing. I said that he's almost home. Really? Lin Xian quickly explained. Just now, I felt a surge of spatial energy outside. Someone might have hurriedly released spatial energy from somewhere and returned, right? Xiao Runing smiled at Lin Xian and said, Ah, devil. This group of women. Hey, can you guys be nicer to me? Lin Xian said, feeling wronged. Hurry up and cook. I'm hungry. Lingying said. Lan Xingxing's big eyes twinkled. Okay. I'll go and cook. Can you guys prepare some other things? Fruits, drinks, etc. No problem. Then, Morongyu followed Lin Xian into the kitchen. I'll help you. Okay. Soon, the feast was ready. All the beauties gathered around the table. Lan Xingxing swallowed her saliva. She couldn't hold it in anymore. After today's meal, let's go to the North Pole tomorrow morning. Xiao Xinyue said. Sure. Of course, it's safer if we go together. Cheers. One night passed just like that. How should it be described? He was drunk. Lin Xian was drunk too. He didn't know what happened until the next morning when Lin Xian opened his eyes. He was dumbfounded. Chapter 1291. Why was Lin Xian dumbfounded? He actually had sex with Morongyu on the bed. Why was it only Morongyu? Lin Xian didn't know either. Maybe it was just random, because everyone drank too much. But this wasn't important, not at all. What was important was that there were other girls lying on the floor beside them. Gulp. Lin Xian swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Last night, he and Morongyu unconsciously had sex. Did the other girls see it? Oh no. Lin Xian quickly and quietly put on his clothes. Then he helped Morongyu put on her clothes. But how could he help her? The girl was asleep. How could Lin Xian help her put on her clothes? Morongyu was tossed around by Lin Xian and woke up. What are you doing? She frowned and used her spiritual power to dissolve the alcohol. Then she saw her situation. Bastard. Morongyu gritted her teeth and glared at Lin Xian. This bastard actually took advantage of her while she was asleep too. Wow. Bastard. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose. Sister, don't do that. I just want to help you put on your clothes. Lin Xian looked at Morongyu in confusion. It's true. I was drunk last night too. Morongyu glanced at Lin Xian, and then saw the girls lying on the floor. Then, she walked into the bathroom. What was going on? There seemed to be some movement outside. Lin Xian walked out and saw Bing Lingyue making breakfast. Morning, little Bing Lingyue. Morning. Bing Lingyue said. Weren't you drunk last night? Bing Lingyue shook her head. No, you all drank too much. I carried you all to the bed. So you are the culprit. Bing Lingyue. She looked at Lin Xian in confusion. Lin Xian knew it. He was such a pure and innocent man. How could he have sex after drinking? So it was little Bing Bing who carried the girls to the bed. That was why It was all her fault. Moreover, Lin Xian only touched one out of so many girls, which was enough to prove how gentlemanly he was. Ahem, it's fine. Little Bing Bing, Xiao Linglong and the others will take care of the two boys. As for Dragoni, if you have time, you may need to take care of her. Dragoni eats a lot. Bing Lingyue said. No problem. But Linglong has already given birth to little Shir for so long. She can also take care of her. I can also take care of her. After you go to the Sky Martial Arts Conference, I will sleep on the floor. It's been hard on you. Lin Xian hugged Bing Lingyue. No, what grievance is this? Han Chuxue was dumbfounded. This Lin Xian. He really had that kind of relationship with Bing Lingyue. It was unbelievable. Bing Lingyue was so beautiful, so powerful, so noble. She and Lin Xian were also. Hearing the movement behind them, Lin Xian saw Han Chuxue and let go of Bing Lingyue. Little Chuxue, you're awake. Han Chuxue nodded lightly. Yes. I will help you make breakfast. Okay. Bing Lingyue felt a little awkward. Then the two girls were in the kitchen. Lin Xian stretched lazily and woke up all the girls who were still sleeping soundly. After breakfast, Lin Xian made the necessary arrangements and the few of them boarded the plane to the top of the North Pole. Of course, the plane couldn't fly directly to the North Pole. It was the closest one to the North Pole. Yes, it wasn't even the North Pole. It was a city a few hundred kilometers away from the North Pole. After landing in Binghai City, they had to travel on their own. It was a few hundred kilometers, maybe even 1,000 kilometers. Because the North Pole was a few hundred kilometers away. The North Pole was a few hundred kilometers away. Anyway, this trip was full of unknowns. Lin Xian, Morongyu, Xiao Xinyue, Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, Wu Yuhan, and Wang Xintong were a total of 7 people. The others definitely couldn't go. Lan Xingxing didn't advance and Xiao Runing didn't participate either. Then, they found out that they were the Storm Squad. Therefore, there was no need to doubt the strength of the Storm Squad. The other girls, even Lu Yufan and the others wanted to go. It wasn't a problem because there was no ban on bystanders. Of course, as long as you had the ability to go. But before they could talk to their families, Lin Xian and the others went first. Father, I'm afraid this is the only chance to make a move. In the Xiao family, Xiao Yin and his father, Xiao He, sat in the main hall and talked about something. About this Lin Xian. We have been paying attention to him for a long time. Now the evil fiend hall in Lin and City has been discovered and eradicated by him. The person in charge of Lin and City, Leng Wuxin, hasn't heard from him for a month. Something must have happened to him. You don't have to worry about Lin Xian. Since he has become an enemy of the evil fiend hall, the evil fiend hall naturally can't let him go. Xiaoyan really wanted to kill this Lin Xian. Very, very much. But, why hasn't the evil fiend hall made a move yet? Xiaoyan asked. Although the Xiao family was the headquarters of the evil fiend hall in China, it didn't mean that the Xiao family had much authority. Xiao Yun's father, Xiao He, was only an elder of the evil fiend hall. Moreover, he wasn't an elder with much authority and authority. His authority wasn't even higher than Leng Wuxin's. However, he could still climb up bit by bit. In short, with the evil fiend hall as his backer, the Xiao family's development would definitely be unparalleled. The most simple example was the 8 great families of Tiandu. The number of experts was basically the same, and the Xiao family was the same. However, the Xiao family was the headquarters of the evil fiend hall, so no one knew that the number of experts they had was overwhelming. It was just that they couldn't easily expose it, but it would definitely allow the Xiao family to obtain more benefits in Tiandu. Xiao He said, how can the evil fiend hall not make a move? That Lin Xian destroyed the evil fiend hall in Linen City. Dozens of celestial venerables and several holy lords have been killed or captured by the 3 great forces. This has seriously damaged the interests of the evil fiend hall. They have already made a move. Xiaoyan let out a long sigh of relief. But that Lin Xian is indeed not simple. The evil fiend hall shouldn't have a problem, right? Xiao He shook his head. I don't know what kind of forces the evil fiend hall has sent, but they should know more about this Lin Xian than us. There's definitely no problem, but you have to be prepared for one thing. What? Even if the evil fiend hall succeeds, they probably won't kill Lin Xian. Xiaoyan frowned. Don't kill Lin Xian? The wealth of the Yixian group behind Lin Xian is enormous. To the evil fiend hall, that is an unimaginable amount of wealth. And as the owner of Lin Xian, as long as we control him, the Yixian group will be a huge source of funds for the evil fiend hall. Therefore, to the evil fiend hall, Lin Xian's value is extraordinary, and it's even possible Lin Xian will become an elder of the evil fiend hall. Then how is he going to die? Don't worry, an enemy will always be an enemy. When his value is gone, there's no need for him to live. Chapter 1292. On the other side, Lin Xian and the others were sitting in a plane, flying towards Ice Sea City. Little Yu, isn't it good to fly a helicopter to the North Pole? Lin Xian looked at Morong Yu and asked. Lin Xian could only put aside the situation in Lin and City for the time being. Increasing his strength was more important. Lin Yu would definitely be fine, the two babies would definitely be fine, and Dragoni would also be fine with Linglong Shui and the others. Morong Qing, Luo Chenxi, and Bai Xianxian should also be fine in the Art Pavilion group. As for Leng Wuxin, Bai Xianxian should also be fine. As for whether the Xiao family was the Evil Fiend Hall or the Fire Hall, Lin Xian really couldn't find out for the time being. He also didn't have the time. Who asked him to coincide with the Tianwu conference at this time? And the God's Awakening door was also very important to him. Morong Yu then looked at Lin Xian and said, the weather in the North Pole is very unpredictable. There are often storms, hailstorms, and blizzards. Flying a helicopter there is simply courting death. So that's how it is. We can only drive there. Wu Yuhan said, we will have to travel a long distance on this journey. The North Pole is a place where people rarely go. We will definitely encounter powerful demon beasts and dangers. Lingying nodded. Yes, and the three major forces didn't gather us together. They just let us go there by ourselves. This is also considered a test, right? It might not count as a test of the Tianwu conference. In my opinion, it should be to let the 250 experts participating in the Tianwu conference adapt to such a place in advance. After all, the North Pole is very special. Yes, although the ice country is an empire with a lot of wind and snow, it is only wind and snow. The North Pole has wind and snow, ice and endless deep sea. When we enter the North Pole, we will have the sea under our feet. It is definitely different from ordinary snow. Moreover, during the battle, it is very likely that we will fall into the deep sea. There are even demon beasts in the deep sea. I think it is very likely that they want us to adapt to that environment before the Tianwu conference begins. Xiao Xinyue said. Won't it be very dangerous? Wang Xintong asked. Lin Xian smiled and said, of course it's dangerous, but the Heaven Martial Assembly is a dangerous place. It's normal for people to die in the Heaven Martial Assembly. You don't even have the ability to reach the peak of the North Pole, so how can you participate in the Heaven Martial Assembly? Am I right? Ugh, Han Chuxue continued. Moreover, it's actually not that dangerous. The location of the Tianwu Assembly has already been decided, but there's no rule that says no one is allowed to accompany them. Therefore, the young masters and young ladies of the large clans can bring their clan's experts with them. Therefore, it's not just us. They didn't let their family members follow them, simply because they felt very safe together, so there was no need to do so. Moreover, there was also Lin Xian and Morong Yu's space, so there was nothing to worry about. However, there was no need to think about it. Ling Ying's parents, Han Chushua's parents, Xiao Xinyue's parents, and so on, would definitely come to the North Pole as spectators to watch their daughter's Heaven Martial Assembly. Therefore, when the time came for the Heaven Martial Assembly, not only would there be 250 participants and a few people from the three major powers, there would also be over 1,000 experts from each family present. This was because it wasn't forbidden. The three major powers naturally hoped that more people would be able to personally see these outstanding children in the Heaven Martial Assembly. Moreover, Xiao Runing might go with Xiao Xinyue's parents, Xiao Zun and Yi Qianling. Morongyu was Morongqing's niece, so under normal circumstances, Morongqing might also go, but the Art Xian group was too busy, so she probably wouldn't go. Anyway, as long as you have the ability to go, there's no problem. A day passed just like that. There was no other way. This place was too far away. It was not even closer than the distance between China and Ice Country. When they landed, it was already dark. The few of them walked out of the airport against the cold wind. This is Icy City? No wonder it's called the City of Ice. Their eyes swept across the entire city that was covered in snow. It was still quite prosperous. After adapting to the wind and snow here, there were still many people who were willing to live here. Even if the winter could reach minus 30 degrees Celsius. Even if there were spring and winter seasons in a year. It's so beautiful. The goose feather snow, the neon lights, and the tall buildings gave them a very dreamy feeling. That's why Icy City is called the City of Dreams, Ling Ying said. Sai, it's my first time here and it's also night time. Let's walk around Icy City together. Tomorrow morning, we'll set off for the North Pole. There was no choice. This Ling Ying had a playful heart. Okay. Of course, the other girls also liked to have fun. In the airport hall, the appearance of a group of girls attracted everyone's attention. One must know that there weren't many people flying to Icy City, but there were many people flying away from Icy City. Moreover, in these 2 days, the geniuses from all over the 5 major empires would definitely fly to this airport. Therefore, the airport couldn't be said to be very lively, but there were definitely a lot of people. Young Master Chu, look. The 4 men just happened to get off another flight together. Then they saw a few girls talking and laughing in front of them. They didn't see their faces clearly, but they could see the side of their faces when they were talking and laughing. That side of their face was super beautiful. Also, their temperament, their backs, they were definitely not simple. It seems that they should be some empire's candidates for the Heaven Martial Assembly. Let's go take a look. Chu Feng tidied up his clothes, then the 4 people walked over with smiles. They all came from the Wind Empire. This Wind Empire could be considered to be at the peak within the 5 major empires. The overall strength of the 5 major empires was in the top 2, so it should be able to compete with the strongest overall strength of the Hua Empire. The Hua Empire was strong because the headquarters of the 3 major powers were in the Hua Empire. The Wind Empire was strong because there were too many top-notch families in the Wind Empire. The top-notch families in the Wind Empire couldn't be compared to the 8 great families in the Divine Capital. The situation in the Wind Empire was a bit special. The powerful families basically controlled the cities. In other words, the more powerful families had the final say in a city. Just like how Lin Xian turned Lin and city into his territory, and Zhuge Feng's Zhuge family turned his city into his territory. How could the 8 great families in the Divine Capital compare to that? Wah wah wah. Spicy pepper soup. Is everyone going to drink it? Ling Ying's beautiful eyes lit up. She looked at the bursts of fragrance coming from the side. Then she excitedly pointed and said, "Let's go." Greetings, everyone. Chu Feng's voice came from behind them. Several people turned their heads and glanced. Chu family. When Wu Yuhan saw his appearance, her beautiful eyes flickered with eerie killing intent. Chapter 1293. The killing intent that Wu Yuhan revealed was very, very weak. Clearly, she released it subconsciously. Her subconscious thought was that she could not reveal her killing intent. The current Wu Yuhan was the cold Wu Yuhan, the younger sister. In that instant, everyone felt a killing intent. Even Chu Feng and the others felt it. However, it disappeared in an instant. They did not even know where that killing intent came from, or who its target was. When Chu Feng saw their appearances, he was simply stunned. Every single one. The appearance of any one of the girls was top-notch. It was normal for 2 or 3 girls of such quality to walk together. However, 6 or 7 girls of such quality walking together was too exaggerated, right? However, there were so many top-notch girls. Why did there have to be a man among them? Hello, are you also participating in the Heaven Martial Assembly? Chu Feng asked with a smile. Yes. Oh, ha ha ha. I'm also participating in the Heaven Martial Assembly. I'm Chu Feng from the Chu family. Nice to meet you, Chu Feng said with a smile. They nodded and wanted to walk forward. Hey, everyone, there's still a short distance to the summit of the North Pole. The road is filled with danger. If we go together, we can look after each other, right? Murongyu said indifferently. No need, we'll meet in the Heaven Martial Assembly. Then Lin Xian extended his hand and hugged Ling Ying and Han Chushua's slender waists. He especially provocatively hugged them and walked forward. Crack, crack, crack. Chu Feng tightly frowned and clenched his fists. Do you know who that man is? Chu Feng asked the several people beside him. I've never heard of him. These girls seem a bit familiar, but I really can't remember. A man shook his head and said, they don't seem weak. It's just that man is hugging left and right. That was what made them feel the most displeased. A man hugging left and right women of this level. Who the hell could bear that? As long as it was a normal man, their jealousy would be too strong. Let's check first. He let go. Ling Ying glared at Lin Xian. He. Then Lin Xian let go of Ling Ying and Han Chushua's waists. Actually, let's not talk about other things, but these few people more or less had a rough idea of what was going on. It was just that a few of them had never seen Lin Xian doing that with a girl. I'll just hug the two fairies and act like a little bee *tch. Lin Xian scratched his head and said with a smile. Hey, who showed killing intent just now? Ling Ying ignored Lin Xian's words and asked. They all felt the killing intent, and it was absolutely not inexplicable. That fleeting killing intent was released by one of them. They looked at each other, and then shook their heads. It's me, Wu Yuhan said coldly. Everyone looked at Wu Yuhan. What's going on? Do you have a grudge against any of them? Lin Xian asked. Wu Yuhan nodded. With that guy called Chu Feng. Did something happen before? Lin Xian asked. Wu Yuhan lightly nodded. Then they walked into a private room in a hotel and ordered the specialties here. Everyone looked at Wu Yuhan with concern and curiosity. Wu Yuhan said, my family used to be in the Wind Country. Oh. They looked at each other and then Wu Yuhan said, when I was young, I wasn't too young. I was in my teens. That night, a group of powerful people came to my family. I don't know why, and even now, I still don't know why. They killed everyone in the Wu family, including my parents, grandparents, and my sister. Lin Xian frowned. He truly did not expect that there was such a grudge between them. It's him? Wu Yuhan shook her head. It can't be said to be him. I investigated for nearly 10 years and found out who it was. I don't know who it was, but I know that it was his family, the Wind Country's Chu family and the Foam family. How are these two families? Lin Xian asked. They are the top families in the Wind Country. The Wind Country is different from China. The top families in the Wind Country control many cities and are extremely powerful. The 8 great families of Tiandu can't be compared to them. As for the Chu family, especially the Feng family, they are the top existences. Especially the Feng family, they are similar to the royal family of the Wind Country. These two families are assassin families. Wu Yuhan said. Then your Wu family, Wu Yuhan said. Although the Wu family in my memory wasn't weak, it wasn't very strong either. It wasn't even a top family that controlled a city. I also don't know why the Wu family would attract the assassination of these two families. If it wasn't because I wasn't around at that time, I would have died. But all these years, I followed my sister's guidance and found these clues. Isn't your sister dead? Xiao Xingyue asked doubtfully. Her soul is in my body. Morongyu suddenly realized. No wonder. So you don't have a split personality, but 2 souls that are controlling this body? Morongyu felt suspicious at that time. Wu Yuhan nodded. She had absolute trust in these people now, so she was willing to tell them some things. Could it be that your family offended these families? Lin Xian asked with a frown. Wu Yuhan shook her head. No, my father and the rest are very low-key. They never do anything for the sake of the family's strength. My father is very satisfied that the family isn't weak. But there's something that has always puzzled me. What is it? Since I was young, ever since I could remember, my sister and I have never gone out together. They looked at Wu Yuhan doubtfully. My sister and I are twins, But my father seems to have tried his best to hide the fact that we are twins. Even some people in the family don't know that the Wu family has 2 daughters. Many people in the family even thought that my sister and I are the same person. If I need to do something, I will go out. If my sister needs to do something, she will go out. Even in the family, my sister and I have never appeared together in front of the people. Lin Xian frowned. Your father must be hiding such a secret. And this secret must be related to you or your sister. Lin Xian said. Wu Yuhan nodded. I know, but I just don't know what he is hiding. So the Chu family and the Feng family must have killed your entire family because of this unknown secret. Wu Yuhan nodded. But, until now, I still don't know what my father and grandfather were protecting. What made these 2 great families not hesitate to destroy the Wu family? Chapter 1294. Lin Xian did not expect Wu Yuhan to have such a thing. However, since he knew about Wu Yuhan's sister's death, something big must have happened. So you want to take revenge? Wu Yuhan nodded. Of course. But I can't do it with my ability. Have you been to the Wu family? Lin Xian asked. Wu Yuhan looked at Lin Xian in confusion. Have you gone back to the Wu family in the past few years? Lin Xian asked. Wu Yuhan nodded. Yes, but I didn't dare to stay there for long. I only went there to investigate. Maybe your father left you some secret in the Wu family? Lin Xian said. Is that so? Lin Xian said. If he really left you or your sister a secret, why didn't he leave a way for you to unravel the secret? This method must be very obscure. Only you can unravel it. Wu Yuhan's eyes lit up. I got it. After we come out of the God's Awakening door, I will go with you. Lin Xian said. I might not be able to enter the God's Awakening door. Wu Yuhan said. There were only 10 spots in the God's Awakening door. There were 6 people here. Xiao Xingyue Lingying Han Chuxue, Morong Yu Wang Xintong and Lin Xian. Including her, there were more than 200 people. How could they compete? No matter how strong the others are, can they be stronger than us? Lin Xian said. Don't underestimate the others. I know. I'm just saying that the 7 of us will definitely advance. Moreover, this Sky Martial Arts Conference is not purely a martial arts competition. This way, I am more confident that I can advance. Lin Xian said. You're good, okay? Lingying rolled his eyes. Damn. Little Lingying, you're getting more and more impudent. Lin Xian glared at Lingying. I've always been impudent. Lingying said. Just you wait. Lin Xian said fiercely. TSK. Lingying looked at Lin Xian with disdain. Lin Xian then said to Wu Yuhan. Anyway, don't be rash. Wu Yuhan nodded. I know. If it was in the past, Wu Yuhan would not have listened to Lin Xian. However, things were different now. After all, the 2 of them, moreover, most of the girls had a sense of trust and dependence on their men. They were willing to listen to a man, especially if the man was better than them. In short, the girl was conquered. Even though it was only once, Lin Xian was of great significance to Wu Yuhan. Even though he was tricked by her own sister. After eating, the few of them strolled around Binhai City for a long time. When it was late at night, they booked a hotel to rest. The 2 of them slept in one room. Of course, the most annoying one, Lin Xian, slept in a room alone. However, Lin Xian revealed a smirk and then sneaked out of his room. Without a doubt, Lingying and Han Chuxue would definitely be in the same room. This Lingying actually dared to provoke him at night. Now he wanted this girl to beg for mercy. Lin Xian did not dare to use the power of space because their rooms were close to each other. If he released the power of space, it would definitely generate spiritual power. These girls were all in the heavenly venerable realm. How could they not feel it? Of course they could. Therefore Lin Xian did not dare to. Knock knock knock. Lin Xian gently knocked on the door of Ling Ying and Han Chuxue's room. Who is it? Ling Ying's voice came from the room. The front desk. Lin Xian deliberately lowered his voice. If he told them it was Lin Xian, this girl would probably not open the door. because everyone knew why Lin Xian was knocking on the door at this time. The front desk? What's the matter in the middle of the night? Ling Ying did not suspect anything. Be careful. Han Chuxue reminded him. Ling Ying's footsteps paused slightly. I know. Then she raised her guard and walked over to take a look. One had to know that their hotel was very high-end. There was a surveillance screen on the door. Every door had a surveillance camera. Ling Ying glanced at the surveillance screen and saw Lin Xian in pajamas at the door, rubbing his hands. Ling Ying. It was this bastard again. Click. Ling Ying then opened the door. Lin Xian smirked and looked at Ling Ying. Ahem, come in and play cards. Lin Xian tilted his head and looked inside. F***ck. Wang Xintong and Xiao Xinyue were here? Why the hell are they here? Ah. I miscalculated. What are you doing here in the middle of the night? Xiao Xinyue looked at Lin Xian and asked. Oh ahem. Xiao Yingying called me and told me to come over to play mahjong. Lin Xian quickly explained. I didn't call you. Ling Ying said with a smile. Don't pretend. You did call me, you just called me to play cards. Lin Xian quickly said. The girls looked at Lin Xian suspiciously. Of course not, I already have 4 people here. Why would I call you to play cards? Tell me, what are you doing here? Lin Xian. Ah, this Ling Ying needs to be taught a lesson. Bastard. It's true, Xiao Yingying called me here. Lin Xian said. Che, then I'll show you the chat history. Lin Xian, you open the chat history too. We'll know if I called you or not. Ling Ying rolled her eyes at Lin Xian and said. Little guy, you want to come and see through me? Fine. Let's see. Lin Xian and Ling Ying then took out their phones, opened the chat history page, and threw it on the bed. Wang Xintong took a look, Xiao Xinyue and Han Chuxue also took a look. Their phones clearly showed that Ling Ying had just asked Lin Xian to come over to play cards. Sister Ling Ying, you clearly asked Lin Xian to come over to play cards. Wang Xintong said. What? Ling Ying then walked over and picked up her phone. Ling Ying. Bastard. She then pointed at Lin Xian and panted angrily. Hey, why are you scolding me? Lin Xian said with an aggrieved expression. That's right, this is the power of the law of creation. If there's no chat history, then I can create a chat history with my mind. Ling Ying glared at Lin Xian, and then sat on the bed angrily. Lin Xian let out a long sigh of relief. That was close. Well, let's call Xiao Yuhan and Xiao Yu over. We can drink and play cards. It'll be very comfortable, Lin Xian said with a smile. Then they sent a message to the 2 girls. You're not coming? Wu Yuhan looked at Morongyu curiously. Morongyu said she didn't want to go. Just yesterday morning, she woke up and found that she was drunk after sex. And then Lin Xian, that bastard. So she didn't dare to drink with them anymore. This Lin Xian was simply a beast. Chapter 1295. In the end, Morongyu couldn't handle Lin Xian's attacks. In other words, Lin Xian sent Morongyu a message. If she didn't join them, he would ask her to wait. Needless to say, this Lin Xian didn't say anything and just asked her to wait. Morongyu was a little scared. The few of them played for a few hours. Lin Xian expressed that he really didn't want to do anything. Alright. He wanted to, but he didn't dare to. The night passed peacefully just like that. When the sun rose, Lin Xian got up from among the beauties and glanced at the girls beside him. Han Chuxue, Morongyu, Xiao Xinyue, Wang Xintong, and Wu Yuhan were sleeping peacefully. Their sleeping postures were also relatively normal. Then Lin Xian looked at Ling Ying. Alright. This is Ling Ying. His whole body was spread out on the bed domineeringly. One of his hands was reaching into Han Chuxue's clothes, while the other leg was still on Wang Xintong's face. Wang Xintong was still sleeping soundly. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh. Alright, they drank too much last night. However, Lin Xian had an early warning and neutralized the effects of the alcohol. After that, he didn't do anything because this wasn't Lin City. They still had to be careful outside. If they were all drunk outside, it would be troublesome if they were to encounter danger. Lin Xian casually ordered takeout. When the takeout arrived, the girls started to wake up one after another. After breakfast, everyone washed up, tidied up their clothes, and all of them went out. When they got off the plane, it was nighttime. It was still okay to play around at night. But now it was daytime. In the daytime, 6 girls of this level were together. It was simply a perfect scene. Murongyu's beautiful blue hair, in particular, caused people's gazes to unconsciously fall on them. Ha ha ha, young Master Feng, nice to meet you. In a beautiful and exquisite Western restaurant by the roadside, Chu Feng and 14 people were casually eating snacks. They just happened to see 3 people coming down from upstairs. 2 men and 1 woman. What made people feel a little strange was that the 2 men's hair was green, and the girl's hair was also green. However, it was different from Murongyu's sky blue hair. It didn't look like it was dyed. It should be natural. The 2 men were handsome to the point of being devilishly handsome. Their skin was very white, and the leader had a pair of sunglasses on his head. He looked very fashionable. The moment he walked out, he had already attracted the attention of many girls. The man behind him looked slightly younger, about 18 or 19 years old. He looked a little young and inexperienced. On the other hand, the girl with the beautiful blue hair at the side was definitely the best. A pair of soul-stirring phoenix eyes that could enchant people's hearts. Blue shoulder-length hair with light bangs. Her white face was like a fairy that mistakenly entered the mortal world. Slender eyebrows, a fine nose that was slightly raised, and her cherry lips emitted radiance. Her hot body made her a bit more sexy. She didn't look very old. She seemed to be in her early 20s. However, the gaze in her beautiful eyes that swept over everything had a bit of arrogance and impatience. Feng Qingyu, Feng Qinghao, Feng Ling. The 3 siblings of the current generation of the Feng family. The leader was called Feng Qinghao, which was the big brother. The second was the girl called Feng Ling. The third was Feng Qingyu. The martial arts academy gathered 20,000 top-notch geniuses on the continent, but it was absolutely not all geniuses. The 3 people from the Feng family were really very famous on the continent. At least, what kind of existence were they in the country of Feng? Similar to Morongyu, Duan Lingxiao, and Qi Tianqing's level. Of course, Ling Ying, Han Chuxue, and the others could also be included. Right now they were on the same level, but as for who was stronger, it was hard to say if they hadn't fought. In terms of strength, it was really hard to determine who was stronger. After all, they hadn't fought. But that was how it was in the eyes of the world. Including Chu Feng from the country of Feng. He was similar to that level of existence. Feng Qinghao looked at Chu Feng then nodded. Young Master Chu, long time no see. Ha ha ha. Chu Feng smiled and stood up. I didn't think that the 3 of you would be here yesterday. If I knew earlier, I would have played together last night. Then Chu Feng's gaze looked towards Feng Ling, smiled and said, Sister Feng Ling, you're getting more and more beautiful. In terms of appearance, Feng Ling was definitely on the level of Ling Ying and the others. Anyway, there was only one word to describe her. Beautiful. Each had their own merits. Feng Ling wore a peaked cap, then nodded. Since we've met, let's go together on this trip? Chu Feng smiled and said. No need. Feng Ling indifferently finished speaking, then walked out. Ho ho ho, that girl Ling Ling is just like that. Young Master Chu, it'll be fine if you get used to it. Then we'll leave first. Feng Qinghao smiled, then walked out. Feng Qingyu hurriedly followed them. Young Master Chu, those are the 3 people from the Feng family? Zhao Yuanba said with extreme displeasure. Feng Qinghao, Feng Ling, and Feng Qingyu. Chu Feng looked at their backs, then said. That Feng Qinghao and Feng Qingyu seem to be alright. But that Feng Ling, isn't she too arrogant? Zhao Yuanba said with displeasure. What can you say about that? Among the 3 descendants of the Feng family, Feng Ling's talent is the strongest. Feng Qinghao's talent is also top-notch, but compared to Feng Ling he's still a bit weaker. Now that Feng Qinghao seems to be a 5-star heavenly exalted, that Feng Ling is probably not weaker than him. You say, does she have the qualifications to be arrogant? What? 5-star heavenly exalted? They revealed a shocked expression. That's nothing. In order to prepare for this heaven martial assembly, in order to enter the God's awakening door, many powers are cramming at the last minute. The family's experts brought us to forcefully kill monsters and quickly raise our realms. For example, I was only a 1-star heavenly exalted a week ago, and now, I'm a 5-star heavenly exalted. Although this isn't a good choice, as one's realm must be raised steadily and surely, it doesn't matter. As long as one can enter the God's awakening door, there's nothing to worry about. Chu Feng indifferently said. But that woman is really too arrogant. It's only the Feng family. My Chu family isn't much weaker than the Feng family, yet she doesn't even put me, Chu Feng, in her eyes. That woman only has a bit of respect for my elder brother, but to me, fuck. Chu Feng clenched his fist. If it wasn't for her family background being extraordinary, he would have already made her suffer. Lingling, be careful in the future. After all, that's Chu Feng, the second young master of the Chu family. The Chu family's power in the Wind Country isn't small. You still have to give face when you need to. Feng Qinghao helplessly looked at Feng Ling, who was walking in front, and said, "Yes, second sister. When we came out, our dad even specially told you to restrain yourself a bit." Feng Qingyu said in a small voice. Feng Ling slightly frowned, then proudly said, "Give face? Why should I give face to him? If he wants face, then he can take it himself." Chapter 1296. That's right. Feng Ling was indeed a prideful girl. She was indeed powerful. There was no doubt about that. Even her elder brother, Feng Qinghao, might not be able to win against her. She was called a rare genius in 100 years by the Feng family. She had the right to be prideful. In this continent within my generation, there are no more than 10 people who can catch my eye. Chu Feng is not one of them. I don't need to give him any face. Feng Ling said again. You little girl. Our dad said that you will easily be taken advantage of like this. Feng Qinghao said helplessly. How can that be? Who dares to go against me? Okay brother, don't worry. Hey, there are Rujiamos over there. I heard that the Rujiamos here are quite delicious. After speaking, she went over. Brother, don't scold second sister. She definitely knows what to do. Feng Qingyu said in a small voice. Feng Qinghao smiled and patted his shoulder. You and Lingling are two extremes. That girl is very prideful. Your talent and strength are not bad, but for some reason, you are a bit timid. No wonder our dad said that it would be best if he could give you 30% of Lingling's pride. Feng Qingyu shrunk his head. I am not that timid. Okay, you have reached the Sky Exalted realm. Try to get a good ranking in this Heaven Martial Assembly. Even if your chances of entering the God's Awakening door are not high, you can still enter another secret realm if you get into the top 30. At that moment, Feng Tianhao frowned and looked over there. Rujiamos, my treat. 2 each. Lin Xian brought a group of beautiful girls over, and said with a smile. Then he ran over. Feng Ling also walked over at that moment. Although the Rujiamo stall was small, there were no less than 8 people lined up there early in the morning. Lin Xian ran over, and arrived at the back of the line at about the same time as Feng Ling. However, Lin Xian might have been a bit faster as he was right in front of Feng Ling. I say, can't you see that I've already lined up at the back? Go to the back. Feng Ling was displeased. She frowned and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian scratched his head and looked at the girl. Ding. Congratulations on triggering the mission. Push down Winchim. Mission reward. All the remaining attributes that have not been triggered will be activated. Lin Xian. It's true, the system hasn't triggered a quest for a long time. Who would have thought that it would be activated today? All attributes? Lin Xian thought for a moment. He was still missing the wood, earth and light attributes. The metal attribute quest had been triggered by Zhao Yunqi, so he could obtain the 3 attributes from last night's quest. However, although this girl was beautiful, her eyes, temperament, and expression all revealed a sense of arrogance and an overbearing aura. This made Lin Xian very unhappy. Have you lined up at the back? I say, pretty girl, we clearly came together. I came from the side and you came from the back. What's wrong? You've walked to the back of the line, and you're 2 or 3 meters away from the last person. Does that mean you're in front of me? Then can I say that I was already behind you a few minutes ago when I passed by just a few meters behind you? Lin Xian looked at Winchim and said, I'll give you 3 seconds to go to the back. Otherwise, don't blame me for taking action. Wen Qim said coldly. Wow, impressive. I'm not afraid of you. Lin Xian looked at her with his eye of cave spirit. F***CK. 5-star heavenly venerable? The 6 girls behind Lin Xian were all 4-star or 5-star heavenly venerables. In the past month, they had played, but most of their time was spent on leveling up. Only Lin Xian had been accompanying his baby the entire time. His realm was still at 6-star heavenly venerable, but he felt that it shouldn't be a problem. However, this girl who didn't look that old was also a 5-star heavenly venerable. No wonder she was so arrogant. However, Lin Xian couldn't bear to see others being arrogant. You've triggered the mission. Even if you're pretty, does that mean I have to spoil you? One more second. Wen Qim said. Oh, and then? Then Wen Qim's aura surged. She didn't know Lin Xian's realm, but she could feel that this person was also a warrior, and his realm wouldn't be too low. Boom! In the next instant, she threw a punch at Lin Xian mercilessly. Lin Xian directly took action. His palm grabbed her fist and his aura surged. Wen Qim frowned. This person's realm was about the same as hers? In the next instant, the corner of her mouth curled up slightly. Bang, the two of them were frozen in place. She didn't throw another punch, but a sudden second force was released from her fist. Lin Xian didn't expect this, and his figure kept retreating. Whoosh! In the next instant, Lin Xian directly appeared behind her with his space attribute and swept his leg over. Wen Qim wasn't someone to be trifled with. She didn't even turn her head and directly dodged. Then, the two of them started fighting on the street in front of many people. Ling Ling. Feng Qinghao directly rushed over and grabbed Wen Qim. Let go. Today, I will let him know the consequences of having no manners. Wen Qim yelled, and directly shook off Feng Qinghao's hand. Her wind attribute power rushed towards Lin Xian. No manners? I have no manners. I think you have no brain? Lin Xian was really speechless. She still F***King said he cut in line? Cut your sister's line. Also you F***King attacked just because you said so? Space Shackle. Lin Xian directly released a space shackle on Wen Qim. Space Shatter. Bang, then Lin Xian's space shackle shattered. Lin Xian. This girl also has the space attribute. But it doesn't matter. You're asking for death. You want to compete with me in space? Space Blast. Boom. Then, some of the small stalls in the surroundings were directly destroyed. Ling Ling, don't fight in the city. What are you afraid of? I will compensate you. In the next instant, the two figures disappeared on the spot without anyone knowing who released the power of space. Ling Ying and the rest were stunned. They had just stopped to buy milk tea. And then, Lin Xian was just buying a Rujiamo. How did he end up fighting with someone? This girl. Feng Qinghao sighed, and then quickly took out some money to distribute to the stall owners. Feng Qingyu also took out some money. Sorry, this is compensation. He bowed to each person he handed it to. Feng family? Wu Yuhan frowned. You know them? Ling Ying asked. Feng country's Feng family and Chu family. From my investigation, these two families might have participated in the attack on my Wu family. I am not sure about the details, but the Feng family's people are born with green hair, so they are easy to recognize. Wu Yuhan said. So they are enemies? Wu Yuhan shook her head. I am not sure. I only found out that these two families might have acted. Chu family is definitely involved, I have already found out. As for Feng family, I am not sure. It is possible. Chapter 1297. Xiao Xingyue also sighed helplessly. It should be fine, right? It should be fine. We all know Lin Xian's strength. Wang Xintong believed in Lin Xian. They nodded. Feng family's Feng Ling. That's Feng Qinghao and Feng Qingyu from the Feng family. They are Feng Ling's brothers. Morongyu said. You know them? Morongyu nodded. I know them. They are very famous in the continent. Feng Qingyu is a little weaker, but Feng Qinghao and Feng Ling are very strong. They are at least on the same level as us. They are also the best competitors for the God's Awakening Door. Feng Qinghao has 3 attributes, while Feng Ling has 4 like me. Ling Ying shook his head helplessly. You guys don't treat us as humans at all. You guys have 3 or 4 attributes so casually. They all had 2 attributes, but they were also envious of 3 and 4 attributes. 1 more attribute meant 1 more battle power. Having more attributes is useful, but if you have to split your attention, the effect might be worse. Take the wind attribute for example. I will never be able to compete with you in Chuxue. Morongyu said calmly. Then I should be the one saying that I envy you for having time and space. Ling Ying said helplessly. In front of absolute strength, time and space sometimes have little effect. If we fight at the same level, I don't have much confidence in winning. Yes, time and space were heaven-defying, but you had to cultivate them well to be heaven-defying. Just like Lin Xian's cheat. It didn't mean that in the same realm, in the same level, if you had the space and the opponent didn't, then the one with the space would definitely win. It just meant that the chances of winning would be higher. On the other side, Lin Xian and Feng Ling were fighting somewhere. Anyway, there was no one. Lin Xian didn't want to destroy the city. Are you crazy? Lin Xian looked at Feng Ling in front of him. You dare to scold me? Feng Ling gritted her teeth and glared at Lin Xian. Are you my elder or what? Why can't I scold you? You're courting death. Wind chimes disappeared and appeared in front of Lin Xian. F***ck. Lin Xian cursed and then unleashed his power. Thunder surging heavens. Buzz buzz buzz. Wind chimes' pupils shrank. 3 attributes? Space, lightning, and wind? Interesting. Thunder God Sky Bright Fist. Feng Ling also released her lightning attribute power. Her lightning attribute martial technique was definitely not weak. She condensed her fist and punched towards Lin Xian's thunder surging heaven. Boom. The 2 powerful forces collided, and the ground caved in. Everything within 100 meters was instantly destroyed. Then, the 2 of them pulled away from each other, and looked at each other as the dust settled. Lin Xian. Wind, thunder, space? Where did this come from? Not simple at all. Shua. Feng Ling stretched out her hand and a blue sword appeared in her palm. She then pointed it towards the sky. Rumble. Lightning flashed and thunder rumbled in the clear sky. A thundercloud appeared and a heaven and earth anomaly appeared. Lin Xian. To be able to cause a heaven and earth anomaly at the heavenly venerable realm, this martial technique was at least divine rank. Go to hell. Heaven and earth lightning destruction. Rumble. A bolt of lightning struck down and landed on her sword. Then, the terrifying power of lightning suddenly slashed towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Was this woman crazy? He didn't cut the line. He was just arguing and then fighting with his life? He even released a divine rank martial technique? Myriad World Lightning Tribulation. Rumble. Lin Xian also released a heaven and earth anomaly. Then he released a divine rank martial technique. Boom. The 2 terrifying forces collided. How destructive was the collision of 2 heavenly venerable realm divine rank martial techniques? It was unimaginable. The dust settled again. The entire surroundings were a mess. You're finished. Weakening law. In the next instant, Lin Xian felt his strength weaken by at least half. This law was quite powerful. Creation law. Lin Xian then released the power of law to make up for this half. F***ck. Heavenly thunder flash in attack. Then the image of a phoenix condensed in the form of lightning. It let out a phoenix cry and charged towards Lin Xian. F***ck. I'm not playing with you anymore. Creation law. In the next instant, Lin Xian released the creation law again and forcefully increased his strength. Thunder surging heavens. Boom. The 2 forces collided. Lin Xian's power crashed towards Feng Ling in a crushing manner. What? She instantly disappeared and appeared on the other side. When she landed, Lin Xian's figure was already behind her. Perhaps she was a little careless. Before she could react, Lin Xian kicked her butt. Plop. Feng Ling fell to the ground and was covered in snow and dust. Lin Xian stepped on the ground and a broken wooden stick flew out. Then Lin Xian jumped and kicked the wooden stick over. Ugh. Feng Ling lay there moaning in pain. The wooden stick had stabbed into her left butt. It was not deep, but it had definitely stabbed into her flesh. Lin Xian was helpless. F***ck your mother. If it was in the past, he would definitely teach this woman a lesson. But she had triggered the mission. So Lin Xian would teach her a little lesson. It probably did not feel good to have a wooden stick stabbed into her flesh by a few centimeters. Idiot sister, I'm not playing with you anymore. Lin Xian then released his spatial attribute and disappeared from where he stood. Don't run if you have the guts. I want you dead. Feng Ling roared, but Lin Xian's figure was nowhere to be seen. Very angry. She actually lost. No. She did not lose because she did not use her full strength. She stood up and pulled out the wooden stick from her butt. It was stained with blood. It was painful, but this kind of injury was just a superficial wound for an Empyrean. Although it was a little deep, it would recover very quickly after some rest. On the other side, Lin Xian appeared beside Ling Ying and the rest. How is it? Don't mention it. That woman is retarded. F***ck, she fought with me. Go go go, I don't want to fight again. Lin Xian and the rest quickly slipped away. Hey brother, my sister. Feng Qinghao hurriedly asked. Your sister? She's an idiot sister. Lin Xian left behind a sentence, and they slipped away. Ling Ling lost. Feng Qinghao's eyebrows twitched. This Feng Ling's age was not old, but she was not young either. She was 20 years old, but she had been pampered for too long. Losing was a good thing. At this moment, Feng Ling's figure appeared on the spot. Where is he? Where is he? Feng Ling gritted her teeth and said angrily. He left. Ling Ling, you lost? I didn't lose. I was careless. Just you wait. He must be participating in the Sky Martial Assembly. I'm going to kill him. Feng Ling gritted her teeth. At this moment, Feng Qingyu looked at his second sister's butt. Sister, your aunt came and you're bleeding behind. Bang! In the next moment he was stepped on by Feng Ling and laid there. Feng Qinghao shook his head helplessly. Chapter 1298. On the other side, Lin Xian's group of 7 arrived at the other end of Icy City. Lin Xian was really convinced. Damn it. I met a girl who doesn't even talk reason with me. This is really F***king annoying. I really want to slap her. However, in the end it was quite satisfying. He kicked her butt and the wooden stick pierced into her butt, causing her to bleed. It was quite satisfying. As for whether Lin Xian could beat her or not, how should he put it? In Lin Xian's opinion, he would definitely beat her up. It's just that he didn't choose to beat her up. Come to think of it, when it came to the proficiency and purity of space, there was no one else in the world who was better than him. In fact, Lin Xian only needed to cast a spatial seal on her, and then use a spatial blast to send her flying. Even though she also has space attribute, it was definitely not comparable to Lin Xian. However, her law was quite powerful. It could reduce a martial artist's strength, speed, and other attributes by half. This was too exaggerated. Think about it, if 2 sky venerables of the same realm were evenly matched and the opponent's attributes were reduced by half, how could they fight? The originally evenly matched battle instantly turned into a one-sided battle. That weakening law should be a top law in Lin Xian's eyes. Fortunately, Lin Xian has the creation law. Hey, how was it? Ling Ying asked. Then I'll definitely win. Lin Xian shrugged and said. Yuhan said that person is from the Feng family, the Feng family of Feng country. Xiao Xinyue said. Lin Xian raised his eyebrows. Feng family, no wonder they aren't weak. How strong are they? Han Chuxue asked. They should be about the same as us. They have wind, thunder, and space attributes. I don't know if there are any others. Their battle strength is indeed quite good, and they do have the qualifications to be proud. Morongyu said. Her name is Feng Ling. She is a very powerful character in the Feng family. He's also a strong contender for the top 10 spots in the God's Awakening Gate. Lin Xian nodded. It doesn't matter, damn it. I wanted to eat 2 Rujiamos. What a hassle. Lin Xian shrugged helplessly. Then let's hurry. We can't delay any longer. We don't know what we'll encounter on the way. If something goes wrong, we might not make it in time. Han Chuxue said softly. Wang Xintong nodded and then asked. Should we buy a car? Of course we have to buy it. It's better than walking. Linging then said, one sports car for each of us. Let's have some fun while we're at it. Lin Xian. What's wrong with you? Lin Xian couldn't help but shout out. I'm not spending your money, so it's none of your business. Linging rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Wow. Just thinking about it made his heart ache. Big sister, think about it. When we drive out, it'll be a world of ice and snow. How can you drive a sports car? Oh, Linging coughed awkwardly after hearing this. Then let's buy a few off-road or Hummer snowmobiles, Morongyu said. No, we don't need to buy, we can just rent. Lin Xian's stingy personality was activated again. He had to be stingy. In the future, he would have so many wives to support, especially this Ling Ying, who asked for a sports car for each of them. How much would he spend in the future? But renting is the same as buying. We might not even be able to return it. Morongyu looked at Lin Xian. Then let's buy a second-hand one. The girls. Wow. How can this bastard be so stingy? Hey, we'll probably just use it as a one-time use car. Why should we buy a new one? Of course we'll buy a second-hand one. Lin Xian suggested. Okay, how many should we buy? Lin Xian glanced at them. Just one is enough. Just buy a slightly bigger one with 7 seats. Then why don't we buy 2? It might not be good if the car is too big outside. Linging rolled his eyes at Lin Xian. Think about it, it's so safe for all of us to be in one car. No matter what we do, we'll be together. 2 cars might not be convenient. Okay, whatever you say. The girls were helpless too. Stingy. This person was too stingy. Lin Xian felt wronged. Stingy? Wasn't he doing it for the family? Other than Wang Xintong, the other 5 girls, Xiao Xinyue, Ling Ying, Morongyu, Han Chuxue, and Wu Yuhan, were all extravagant spenders. They could casually buy jewelry that cost hundreds of thousands, or even millions. They could buy sports cars whenever they wanted. Wouldn't someone stop them? Lin Xian was such a person. Then they went to the second-hand car market. Boss, take a look at a 7-seater snowmobile or off-road vehicle. I want something more powerful. It's easy to drive in the snow. Lin Xian said. Alright, please come with me to take a look. The boss looked at Lin Xian and the others strangely. This Lin Xian was fine. The girls behind him were all fairies. They didn't look like people who could only buy second-hand cars. What do you think of this Mountain Eagle 740? It's the best car for climbing in the snow. The wheels are big, it's not slow, and it has a lot of space. This car is also equipped with a flight mode. It can fly for a short distance with a press of a button. It's not fast, but there are a lot of rifts in the snow. This will be very useful. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. How much is it? This model is 5 years old. It costs 3 million now. Lin Xian. Change it. It doesn't need a flying car. F***CK. Sir, there are a lot of rifts outside. It's very useful if it can fly. No need. Change it. Okay. The girls followed behind Lin Xian and looked at each other helplessly. However, they didn't need a flying car because they had the spatial attribute. When they encountered a rift, they could just use the spatial attribute to bring the car along with them. This model is the Wild Donkey 830. It's very cost-effective. It's suitable for driving in the snow. The fuel tank is very big. However, its functionality is much worse than the previous model. Lin Xian looked at the huge wheels in front of him. The car wasn't small. He nodded. How much is it? This is the 19th model. It's from last year. It costs 2 million now. Lin Xian. What about the old model? This is 5 years old. It costs 750,000 now. Even older. This is 8 years old. It costs 400,000 now. What else? 10 years ago. It costs 280,000. This one, the boss coughed dryly. This is a 15-year-old car. It costs 80,000. This is it. The girls? I say. You're too stingy. I can't take it anymore. I'll pay, okay? Ling Ying couldn't take it anymore. Chapter 1299. Lin Xian looked at Ling Ying. What do you know? This is called housekeeping. Anyway, I'll probably throw it away after I use it. Just treat it as a one-time use. What's the difference between an 80,000 and an 80,000? Lin Xian rolled his eyes. Wang Xintong whispered, but is a 15-year-old car okay? The boss said, there are definitely more problems. They are all unpredictable problems. Who knows what will happen if you drive it out? After all, it's a 15-year-old car. No matter how bad it is, you should at least buy a 10-year-old car. Lin Xian smiled and said, you don't understand. Some cars can be driven for 20 years, let alone 15. This one. Little Ling Ying pay. Ling Ying. Lin Xian drove the car. Murong Yu sat in the front passenger seat. The other 5 girls sat in the back. It was quite spacious. They could even play poker in the back. How is it? Is there any problem? Lin Xian said as he drove out of Binghai City and headed towards the North Pole. Okay. Let us know when you're tired. We'll take turns. Ling Ying said. The people in the back were in charge of playing. Murong Yu in the front passenger seat was in charge of observing the surroundings. Lin Xian was in charge of driving. Then, everyone took turns. Slurp. The girls in the back were happily slurping their instant noodles. Using hot water to make instant noodles in such a cold place was simply amazing. Sister Murong, Lin Xian, here you go. Wang Xintong handed the instant noodles to them. Thank you. Murong Yu took it and glanced at Lin Xian who was driving. Feed me. Lin Xian said. Murong Yu. Damn. I'm convinced. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed just like that. There were still 3 days before the Tianwu conference, and they were already at the North Pole. They drove for 3 days without stopping. Everyone took turns driving. Although they couldn't drive too fast in the snow, they were already very deep into the snow. With the signal duplication receiver invented by Miao Xiaomao, they could still use their phones and other devices in such a remote place. They had to admit that it was very useful. Where are we? It was already very dark outside. How to say it? They were only driving during the day. Once it was dark, they could only stop and rest. If they couldn't see in front of them, they could really drive and fall into the ice crack. Although they were in the past few days, they had a lot of fun. It's as if they were driving while they were driving. The one was the one who had a hard time. He really wanted to see little Shirshir and little Tianny. Unfortunately, Ling Ying and the rest didn't know that Lin Xian, that bastard, had a baby. Lin Xian didn't dare to video call them, and only occasionally chatted with them secretly. Lin Xian looked to the north and said, we should be able to see the peak of the North Pole after driving for an entire day. That's good. We can still go there a day earlier. The group of them sat in the snow outside the car. Flames burned on the ice, illuminating the endless darkness. After all, they were all in the celestial venerable realm. Although the temperature here was estimated to be -40 or -50 degrees Celsius, it was not too big of a problem for them. The fish is here, the fish is here. Wang Xintong and Wu Yuhan walked over from the side and went to catch the fish. The snow under their feet was half a meter thick, and the ice was a few meters thick. Of course, there were fish under the ice. They had been eating too much snacks for the past few days, and were preparing to roast some fish. Then, they prepared the fish slightly and sat around the fire. Little Yu, your father is the lord of the holy sanctum. Is there any news? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Murong Yu sat there and looked at Lin Xian, then said, even if there is, I won't listen even if you tell me. Lin Xian shrugged. Sigh, what a proud woman. How good would it be to get some insider information? There's no chili powder. Ling Ying looked at the roasted fish with his chin in his hand. Lin Xian stretched out his hand, and chili powder, cumin powder, and other seasonings appeared. Tell me what you lack. Creating the law is so satisfying. They couldn't help but exclaim. Wow. Creating the law was the most satisfying law in the world. This was something that could be casually created with one's thoughts. Who could resist that? It's okay. After eating, they got into the car and rested. The night passed just like that. The next morning, Lin Xian opened his eyes. The car was as good as dead. He couldn't start it no matter what he did. The girls beside him took a look at the car after washing up. I told you to buy a slightly better car. You're so stingy. Linging looked at Lin Xian and said angrily. It's fine, it's fine. There's a law of creation. Lin Xian smiled awkwardly, then released the law of creation and fixed the car. After getting into the car, they sped off into the distance again. After driving for about an hour, the car suddenly lost control. The screams of a few girls could be heard from behind. Luckily, Lin Xian wasn't driving too fast. He quickly braked and stopped the car. It hurts. Wang Xintong covered her forehead, and a few other girls banged their heads on the ground. What's going on? Wu Yuhan frowned and asked. Lin Xian got out of the car and looked at the scene in front of him awkwardly. Cough, 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 he couldn't help but cough. The girls got out of the car and couldn't help but roll their eyes at Lin Xian. This F*King car had lost its left front tire while it was running. They were speechless. I can't stand you anymore. Linging was going crazy. Cough, cough, it's okay. There's a law of creation. He coughed awkwardly again and released the law of creation. A left front wheel appeared on the car. Get in. I'm not getting in. Linging said. Okay. The girls nodded in agreement. Lin Xian. Why? Morongyu looked ahead and said. It's not far. Let's walk. It's not easy to walk ahead. Lin Xian looked ahead and saw that there was no road ahead. To be precise, there was no road to begin with, but the road was still relatively wide and stable. However, in front of them were all snowy mountain ranges of various sizes, as well as cliff layers and rift valleys. The car probably wouldn't be able to drive fast, so they would have to constantly use the space attribute. It would be better to walk. Lin Xian felt that they despised him. Sob, sob, sob. He just wanted to save some money and raise a dozen wives in the future. Was he wrong? My father said that there aren't many monsters in a place like the North Pole. However, it's easier to encounter them in such a rugged place. The distance is about right. Let's walk. Okay. Then they packed up. Lin Xian looked at the car that cost 80,000 yuan with heartache. Then they entered the first dangerous area. An area with more monsters. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.